Hello and welcome to episode 144 of the MisanthroPod. I nearly forgot what podcast I was on. It's fine. I'm Snipe, and as always, I am joined by lovely Wibbolette. Say hello.
Hello.
I am also joined by the tantalising drummered Matthew. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you, wonderful gentlemen, this evening?
I am doing great. Everything is working perfectly. This is not the third time of trying to record this intro.
Yeah.
It's not. I know I said it's not.
Is it not? Is it
no,
not?
It's not.
No?
It's great.
Huh?
Matt, how are you?
I mean, based off this intro, we should be doing a fourth one, but let's keep going. I'm good. How are you, Snipe?
I was having a good day. That's a lie. I was having a terrible day. We'll get into why I have had a bit of a shonky day today. It has been a day of rage. A day of rage. For me,
just rage.
Rage is like, that's the only emotion you're allowed to have as a man, and as a non-binary, like, bi-gender person, I'm only allowed to feel that, like, 50% of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I am only allowed 50% of my emotions to purely be rage, which I feel, you know, as a person who is frequently kind of vibrating with rage. Yeah, so today's had me vibrating with rage.
Okay.
I did, there's a new fast food joint in town, and they sell tater tots, and that was pretty cool.
Nice.
And they're called fat buns with a PH.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they milk that pun so bad, not sponsored. And it's like there's literally a burger called the Cheesy Fat Chick, and I'm like, and you aren't letting me have this because of why? This is representation of me. But yeah, and like, I had to give a name, so they were like, okay. And the woman behind the counter was like, "Do you have a name?" And I was like, Frank.
No.
Frank.
Traditionally?
Yeah, and
Yes.
I was like, Frank, and she kind of started laughing, and I'm like, "Do you think I'm joking?" And I was like, Frankie, and she was like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Okay." So, and then at the top on the screen, you know, they had the order screen come up. It just had in big letters, "Take out Frankie." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck. Oh, no." I am going to die as long as I get to eat my taters. And I ate my tater tots, and they were incredible. It came in like a little, like, you know those cute little paper, like, jewelry shop bags you get when you buy, like, fancy jewelry? It came in one of those. And I was like, it's tater tots. But thank you. What was I talking about?
Yeah, Matt, you were going to say how you were.
Yeah, Matt, how are you?
No, I said I'm good, and then I asked how Snipe was, and then
Oh.
And then I got mad about it.
And then an event happened.
Yeah. So there is a little bit of news.
Yes. So this podcast, this episode will be a little bit different because we realized that we spend most of this talking about, games and movies and TV shows and stuff. And obviously, there was the whole writer's strike going on. And,
Still kind of is.
Well, no, the writer's strike is over. Now we're at the now it's SAG-AFTRA strike.
Oh, SAG-AFTRA, yeah. Cool. This is how informed I am. I've had a long day. I am not representative of this podcast.
But we realise we talk about this stuff, and a lot of it has been struck work. And as a show of solidarity, we want to, until the end of the SAG-AFTRA strike, who hopefully will get everything they wanted, because
they fucking deserve it. Holy shit!
The writers pretty much managed that because it turns out unions are a great idea, and solidarity makes us strong. Join a union, folks. But we're just not going to talk about anything that is considered struck work until the end of this strike action. So that will mean that you'll have to hear us waffle about some other inane shit rather than the usual inane shit we talk about. And I'll just have to save up all of my feelings about the various tedious shows on Disney Plus that I watch until then, I guess.
Fair.
But yeah, so
Solidarity with the strikers. Join a union. Literally never a bad thing joining a union.
unless it's a police union.
Unless it's a police
They're
union.
bad.
They don't deserve them.
Anyway.
Solidarity.
But yeah, just to let you know what the deal is and why we will not be talking about it. And honestly, we would have done this previous episodes,
but we're old, tired, and did not brain think.
Yeah, I didn't think about it until like a couple of weeks ago and realised. Yeah,
but it's never too late to admit your mistakes and make corrective actions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
In fact, it's incredibly healthy and a positive thing to acknowledge if you've messed up.
Yes.
So that's what we do.
Yes.
So, actually. Anyway, Quibbolette.
Hello.
What have you been up to, darling?
Fuck
all. Okay. Thank you for listening to the MisanthroPod. All we do is consume media.
Well, I have had my interesting thing that I've been doing, which is I've got very big into my model trains.
Yes. Fall down this rabbit hole. It pleases me.
I am convinced this is something that happens to British men. Once they hit a certain age, they suddenly just go and what was it you said? Picking a subclass of old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and most of them, y'all don't multiclass. Most of them just go trains, and I'm like
trains,
cool.
Military history, or extreme esoteric racism.
Sometimes.
All three.
They do multi-class.
Yeah, we'll get actually they do multi-class. We'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah, we will.
People probably saw the video that I put out, which was me restoring my childhood train set.
It was super good, and I loved it. It was really
very
cool.
good video.
And
I did enjoy
and
it.
I noticed because that's where you do your trains, because we only have a small flat. That's where I do all of my art, which means I've got my laptop in there. I've got my desk tidy in there. I've got my Spider-Mans. I've got my Razor Crests. I've got my laptop with some stickers on it. I have 3 stickers on my laptop, and I didn't realize that they were visible in the video. I have one, which is a nice. It's like a pink knife, like a hunting knife. It's very pretty. One is a pastel-colored mythosaur skull because.
Mandalorian.
And the third one is a Squishmallow in Shibari.
Yeah, I meant to check through
which is Japanese rope bondage for people who don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's blushing. it's
Yeah,
I
meant
didn't
to
expect that to be in. I was like,
I didn't think about it until afterwards because I just don't think about the things that exist in our flat.
Especially not when they're to do with me, because I have Shibari Squishmallow stickers.
I realised that I probably should look through the video to see if that is actually visible in any shots.
I think it is.
The other 2 stickers I know definitely are, but I'm not 100% sure if that one is. I'll have a look through.
Leave a comment and a timestamp on the video if you spot it.
But yeah, I did that video. It seemed to go down pretty well. I got a lot of really, really lovely, heartwarming responses to it of people talking about their experiences doing model trains with their father or grandfathers or even uncles, someone in their life.
It seems to be quite a mask coded kind of hobby.
Yeah.
So if you are not mask or male and are you are valid and we love you and support you and will knife fight a bear for you.
Yes.
Whether you want us to or not, we're gonna do it.
The bear's gonna fucking die.
We're gonna kill a bear. And make you watch, apparently.
I kind of want to write that down as a potential title, but I think that might produce some kind of algorithmic disappointment.
That's why you censor the word. We are going to unalive a bear and make you watch.
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, you know what I do every 6 or 7 months? I go and I look through the titles of the MisanthroPod and just laugh my ass off because I don't remember context for any of them. And they make me giggle. It's very fun and wholesome. It's not wholesome.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would say that the titles of these podcasts are wholesome. Anyway, So yeah, got a lot of lovely responses of people talking about like their memories of it and how the video gave them like it made them feel feelings, and I was a bit more sincere than normal in the video, I feel.
Yeah, you only posted whole like 3 times. I was actually really impressed with your
Yeah, I
restraint.
kind of restrained myself.
Yeah.
Normally I have unrestrained whole.
Stop talking about your holes.
You brought it up. But no, genuinely, it was really lovely. Got a lot of lovely responses.
Was it lovely?
And yeah, it was lovely. Lovely time.
Fucking lovely.
Absolutely lovely. And yeah, it was really nice. And a lot of people had suggested that what I could do with limited space is
Put
build.
them in your ass.
You know, no one did.
Somebody, please. Timestamp.
Model railway trains are too expensive to put up your fucking arsehole.
Well, that sounds like
And the little
something...
coupling rod things will get stuck anyway.
Yeah, now, if you had, say, an American-style knuckle coupler,
Yeah.
then maybe.
Well.
Can you imagine that? Oh, Daddy, give me the knuckle coupler.
A UK tension lock, no, you don't want that. And especially a modern, like, NEM coupling one, because that could come out while it's inside you. You don't want that.
Oh, that sounds... Well, maybe if you put it in some kind of, like, vessel, like, you could put it in something like a condom or something else, maybe to keep it just kind of... Maybe, like, an Asda bag if you're really feeling, like, gutter. You know what I mean? If you really want to be dirty and gross. You want to be filth.
Generally, I feel that you should probably, if you're going to put something up there, it should be something that's designed for it.
Can you imagine? Okay, like this is fucking going off the rails.
Hello, the person who occasionally has to manually check YouTube videos to see why they were flagged for adult content.
Don't you love your job?
Don't you love it? Don't you love having to hear things like this?
You happy? You fucking sleeping good? Because I hope you are. You need to eat.
What were you going to say?
I was going to talk about those, you know, those weird, like, they're like, okay, so don't laugh at me, but, like, they're, like, the inverted fleshlights you get at seasides that you buy for, don't look at me like that, you know what I mean?
You mean those, like, tubes that are, like, wrapped around, so they're, like, almost like a fucking Mobius strip, but they've got, like, goo inside them?
Yeah, and they're, like, they're like a weird, like, fleshy kind of tube.
Okay.
That, like, every teenage boy I've ever encountered, like when I was a teenager myself, would like sheepishly admit that they tried to fuck.
I have had them and I never tried to fuck them.
It's okay if you did.
No, I legitimately
Drama Matt's
never
being
did.
Suspiciously quiet.
No comment.
Oh my god. But it's like...
It's too shallow!
Oh, alright, monster cock, calm down! Fucking kaiju cock over here. King Dom.
I accidentally revealed something.
Yes! Honey, like, actually, yes. So just calm the fuck down.
Alright, okay, moving on.
Okay, I'm not good. Yeah. So, trains.
Okay,
We've all played with them.
People suggested that what I could do with limited space is make a small shunting layout. If you're not aware, obviously you have, there's train layouts where you have a big loop, so you can have something just keep going round and round and round. That's kind of, standard kind of layout kind of thing. But one thing you can do is just have kind of short straights that just connect to a bunch of sidings, and you can do...
Nobody wants straights, let alone the short ones.
But you have these kind of like just little short things, and you can just do little shunting things with them. So you move trucks around, and you can just have some fun doing that. And you can have that in a very small space. You can fit some of them on shelves, like just a single shelving unit. And that was a very good suggestion that people had, because by the time the video went out, I was already planning making one of those. And I've now started building one. So nice. I've got a shelf that's like 25 centimetres by 120 centimetres. And I am building an Inglenook sidings shunting puzzle on them.
I'm reminded of a tweet I saw once, which was things I've made up names I've made up when strangers have asked me what breed of dog I have. And that just sounded like that list. I know it will be real things.
Yeah.
Yes, the Inglenook Canterbury and the Pifflepuff Nettlebush.
The original...
And I'm just like, what? This is what it feels like to be a dog.
The original one was built on.
Here.
The original one was built on like a piece of wood that that fit within the little nook on the side of a chimney in a British house, and that's called an ingle nook.
Nobody knows that.
Yeah, but that's why it's called it. It's it is actually a sensible name.
Yeah, but like nobody calls it that.
Yeah, I know, and that's why it makes it a good name, because no one thinks of its actual meaning first, so it becomes just kind of a name. I think it's actually a really good name for it because of that.
No, it's fine. It's just like it just kind of hurts my head a little.
Okay. Anyway, semantics aside, it's basically just a long straight with like two little sidings that come off it, and you have a bunch of wagons in each of them, and you have to you basically you either pull out of a hat or you roll a dice or whatever, and you decide what order you want to put these trucks in, and you've got limited space to basically move them all around and fit them into an order.
It's like a shifty puzzle. Because like because when Dromat came around, you played it, and then I had to go.
Yeah.
And then I just sat there while you were both going, okay, now do this, and I was like, okay. Okay. And I felt really fulfilled and very intelligent afterwards, I will say.
It's a very
because I was smart enough to know my limits and make you guys do it for me.
But it's a really fun little puzzle. And I thought, I'll make one of those, because that means I can mess around with my model trains, and I can also have a bit of a break and make something new and interesting. And so I'll build all the terrain. Like, so far I've got the track laid down, so it's all on cork, and the base layer is like painted, and I've put a bit of filler down the side of it, so I can then put ballast on it and stuff, and I'll build up terrain and guff. I've got like a tunnel to hide the part where technically a real railway would go off onto a main line, but this doesn't because it's on a shelf. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing that. I actually painted up. I mentioned it in the video. There's like a little green 040 that I bought originally as a donor for one of my old trains that I was restoring, but I eventually managed to get the old train working again, so I then just had an extra thing I bought for $10 off eBay. But its paint was a bit worn and a bit chipped, so I thought, I'll repaint it, and I did that the other day, and I'm actually really
so cool.
I thank you. I'm really pleased with how it came out, actually, because
it should be. It's fucking boss.
Like, I painted all the inside of the cab and put in some crew that I painted up as well, and it's really astonishing how you can take what is fundamentally a cheap train set, like loco, and make it look like a proper scale model with just like a bit of like proper paint on it. Like, it's not perfect or anything, because obviously it's hand painted and stuff, and I don't have an airbrush to like do the colours to give a really smooth coat of paint, so there's a few bits that you can see a few brush strokes that is not ideal, but overall I'm pretty happy with how it came out. However, we had a fun experience today, because I was like, well, I need to buy some ballast, which is the rocks that go between train tracks that like keep everything stable, like all the sleepers stable. And to replicate that, you need to buy very small ground up rocks,
It's just the material in which you...
Yeah, it's just the material you lay down there to get a realistic thing. Now, I needed some of that, and the place that used to sell it that's really close to us doesn't anymore. Like, as soon as I start doing this, because I'd noticed that they sold it before. Because obviously I'd look in that area for like wargamey stuff, because there's a lot of crossover of like terrain builds and stuff. And I was like, well, I need to get some ballast, and I could order it online, but I kind of want to see it in person before buying some, if I can. So I had a look to see if there was any model railway shops in Derby, and the answer was yes. Yes, there was.
There's like one.
There's like one. So we go there today, and look around, and I won't tell you anything about the shop because I don't want to say anything nice about them.
Don't go there.
Because don't go there. Because whilst we were we were just kind of finishing up and waiting to like be served, we heard the guy working there. I don't know if he's the owner or
I think he might be,
or just like the guy on the till decided to start talking politics with one of the other people, with the other customer,
with
there.
another older person.
Okay.
And so initially it starts off about what you expect, which is
this Tory government isn't the one I voted for. It's like, well, obviously you voted Tory.
Yeah.
Duh.
And it's like, okay. And then he goes off. He fucking goes off on one and has a
This
fucking
man-
screed against...
He goes full fucking Turner Diaries.
Just fucking,
And
yeah.
he's like, yeah, the immigrants. You know, it's a war. It's a war. They are infiltrating societies. You can't go anywhere in Sweden without being knifed by an immigrant. It's like, I'm standing there being an immigrant, being like, I know what you mean by that, but will you have the balls to tell me what that fucking means? You know, in hindsight, of course, because, like, and can I just say, I hate when people do this, and I know it is not meant in this way, but be aware that when you go, well, I would have done this, you are criticizing the person you're talking to, and basically telling them that they failed that social interaction by not doing what you think you would have done. And I can guarantee you, no, you wouldn't have done that, actually, because that is so far out of the social fucking norms. Your brain stops working. It stops fucking working, and you don't know what to say, you don't know how to react. You're just sitting there experiencing this grossly... like, this grossly out of, like... It's like having a bucket of cold water thrown on you. You can't function. So please stop saying I would have done this, because you probably wouldn't have, because the shock of just hearing someone coming out with literal fascist rhetoric just very happily in front of just full-on fucking strangers.
Yeah, it was like, I just came in here for some fucking ballast, and now I've got to deal with this. I don't think what would happen if I went in there and wanted to buy a fucking, I don't know, a pannier tank. I'd get told about the protocols of the Elders of Zion or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to be like, hey, yeah, you know, like, Polish people can fly. Got to watch out for that. They have achieved the power of levitation. Fucking watch out for that.
Yeah, so we're not going back there.
Ever.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. The horse they rode in on and fucked because it's their mother.
Yeah, it was not fucking like, because, you know, there's some hobbies where you don't expect people's politics to line up with your own. Like, you're dealing with a thing that's mostly, you know, if you, I can't speak for other, like, countries and stuff, but, you know, if you're talking about the UK and model trains, it's a lot of older men, usually got maybe a little bit of money.
Typically, they have a bit of money. They've got their own houses, so, you know, they don't have to get bled dry every month by a fucking landlord, you know, the usual.
There's certain facets, and it's obviously, like, a lot of it is based around nostalgia for, like, a time long gone. Because most people build their layouts as historical, like, if they're doing, like, a historical thing, it'll be like, no, I'm set around the 1980s, so I've got a bunch of, like, intercities and
I've got
DMUs
a couple of
and
models
stuff.
around the back doing cocaine.
Yeah, or I'm set during, like, the pre-grouping era, or no, I have an LNER railway, you know, like, they'll set it within a specific kind of time period or whatever.
Which is,
and so there's, like, a
that's
nostalgia element to it, and so all those things combined mean you don't go into those places expecting, like, if you're watching, like, say, a model train YouTuber, you don't expect them to start, you know, to have, like, amazing politics.
You know, like,
And that's fine. Not
typically, yeah.
You know, like, I'm not amazing politics is the wrong word. I don't expect people to have politics that line up with my own. Let's put it that way.
Because we're a little bit left-leaning.
might have gathered that, you know, here and there.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't fucking expecting that. It threw me right the fuck off, because I'm just like, what the fucking Christ, like, Jesus.
And this was like, it was like fucking lunchtime. It's like, dude, you're this racist before dinner? Like, fucking how
Racism's an evening activity, God.
No, I mean, like, you know, it's the crack of fucking noon, right? As someone who works from home, that's the middle of the fucking night for me. It's like, how fucking, like, do you get up and you're this angry? Like,
Yeah.
what? I'm not going to go super into it because this is not a super political podcast. Well, we don't want to be talking about right wingers and those kind of cringy idiots because derogatory. But like, you got to sit there and think, and like, what he was saying was so fucking monstrously misinformed. He obviously didn't understand what politics was. That he fucking like, he has no idea what's actually happening. And it's like, and yet, and you're talking with so much authority about something that you're basically going off vibes and rumors. And, you know, it's like, well, I don't like people who aren't white. So they're the people who are doing everything fucking wrong. And they are like plotting in underground fucking like cave systems to come and upset me personally. And it's like, Harold, you are not the main character. You own a fucking train. Like,
It was funny. He literally said,
he literally had the uncle that works in Nintendo moment. It was so embarrassing. He was like, now I know someone who like works in the House of Lords. It's like, no, you fucking don't.
To be fair, he might do. There's so many of those fuckers.
No, but this is the thing with this guy. Do you have a spider in your hair? Hold still.
What?
No,
What?
You had a spider in your hair. Anyway, and this like guy was like, what? It wasn't a big one.
Did it land on me?
I don't know.
Okay.
Leftist spider has entered the chat. Fucking Hobie Brown has entered the chat. He's like, okay, I'm in it. But yeah, nah. And he was just growing on about this stuff, and it's like to the point where I sit there and go, now, you either just made up the fact that you know someone in the House of Lords, which, if you know someone in the House of Lords, fucking get tested, mate. That's gross. You'll die. You'll catch something.
Yeah, frankly, I don't want to be near those people.
No. Or, because he is so obviously politically misinformed,
Catch Ermin.
I'm wondering if someone's just said that to him and he's just believed it. Because it's like, if you think like immigrants, TM, which, wow, there's not even a dog whistle at this point, it's just a fucking whistle.
Oh yeah, the thing is, like, this is just straight up a really far.
I have literally said to people when they're like, fucking immigrants coming over here, Schrodinger's immigrant taking my jobs while, like, taking 30 jobs while never ever working, and you're like, and you're angry at the person who's apparently doing this and not the companies that are exploiting these vulnerable. Okay, fine. And I've said, I'm an immigrant, and they go, well, you're different. And I'm like, why? They never want to fucking answer you.
Because the answer is because you're white.
That's the fucking
That's
answer.
the answer.
That's the answer. Especially when I was younger, because my parents were like, you know, like they were lazy and they didn't want to work, so they did just like sit there and just suck up money from the government. Which, before anyone gets really mad about it, I know the statistics that it's like fucking less than 1% of people actually do that, who are on benefits and stuff. And even if it was 20%, I don't fucking care, because you know what? I was a fucking hungry child and we needed to eat. No child should ever go hungry. No person should ever be houseless. So
It's not a political podcast.
I'm getting fucking political this time because I'm fucking mad. I am so mad about that guy today. And it's just like, the government is making it so that these kinds of fucking people who can, because they are so privileged, they can be this ignorant, because fuck you. So they don't have to educate themselves, because any kind of effort on their part is oppression. Any kind of consideration that they have to like take into account is cancelling them. It's that kind of shit. The fact that, you know, it's like, what can we do? Well, we can tell other people, please don't shop here because this person is a fucking psycho.
I don't know, that all sounds like wokeness brought on by transgenderism to me.
Well, I am under the trans umbrella, so maybe. I don't know how to program, though. Is that okay?
We need to get you to play New Vegas. Yeah, no.
New Vegas transed my gender.
Yeah, no.
Complimentary.
So yeah, I'll be. I guess I'll be ordering online from now on.
The thing is, like, support local businesses.
Apart from that one.
Apart from that one, who's literally
Fuck that one.
fucking wearing an armband and straightening a picture of Hitler. No, so trans rights and human rights. Black Lives Matter.
Fuck the Tories.
Fuck the Tories. Cops bad. listen to people, be considerate. Fucking hell, I am still so shook, tbh.
Yeah, I got that.
It's so frustrating because, again, it's like I said to you, I was like, I kind of expect that shit. Not that makes it okay, but I expect that shit from like the little shitty town we used to live in that was very isolated and was quite small. Because, like, yeah, you would have just tellers being like, haha, and then drop a fucking racial slur, and you're like, excuse me? What? I think it would be like, because you know, they haven't seen a person of colour, they don't know what a gay TM is, all this kind of stuff, because it's a small shit town, which, again, is not really an excuse, but
I think I'm just a bit more used to, you know, British culture, and that there's a particular type of, like, small business owner who have the most rancid politics that is physically possible for a human to have.
Yeah.
And you don't encounter them super often, or at least they're not open about it, and we just happened to stumble upon one today.
And I've said this a couple of times, like, if that's the shit he's happily espousing in front of complete strangers, what the fuck is he actually saying behind closed doors? Basically, if you are able and have the spoons and are safe, call out your local fascist.
But, so apart from that, I have been having a lot of fun with my model trains.
Apart from, you know, the creeping spectre of fascism.
Well, yes.
We've been doing pretty well.
But that's just like living in the UK.
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw a thing today where there was an article talking about, why is it like Britain doesn't have like a problem with like fringe, like far-right groups?
Because
like,
they're the ones in charge of everything.
A fringe far-right group is the government. That's why. Anyway. But yes, my model trains have been going well, and they do help distract me from the horrors of the real world when they don't directly intersect. Honestly,
that's all we're doing. We're putting time off. we're putting time aside so we don't go crazy from doom scrolling and living in a hellscape.
Yeah. Speaking of, whilst we're doing complaining corner.
Yeah, this is the complain corner.
Yeah. The other corner. I think we've got many corners on this podcast now. I think we're sort of some kind of like dodecahedron sort of shaped thing. But I did want to say it was really weird how we put out the Spacefarers video, which I thought was pretty good. I thought I was quite happy with that video. More people seem to just want to talk about the man thing in that, because they really thought that what we were doing was saying that it was really sexist and like making a big statement about it and being really, really honed in on it and like making a big deal about it. Whereas what we actually did was say that it was kind of weird and surreal to read, because it just kind of, you know, it's kind of weird and awkward. And then we just highlighted that whenever it was weird and awkward and it came up, because it was funny to us. We thought it was funny. Yeah, and that's why we harped on it, and that's why, it is indicative of like a generic sexism in like the nature of gendered language. Of course it is. And this is a thing from, like, I believe they started writing it in, like, the very late 70s, and it came out in 1981. So it's a very different world, and obviously, like, I don't think that the people writing it
I don't think there's anything in there. It was just, nerds are weird.
Yeah,
they were, like, I just don't think they really considered that anyone apart from dudes would be playing their game. And it's like, I genuinely don't think it was an active thought, and I don't think it was actively malicious at all.
But, like, people people really honed in on that.
Very normal men.
Some very normal comments.
Not innocent men, but they were very normal.
It's weird. Anyone that mentioned it seemed to split into two categories. People who either totally got what we were doing and was laughing at it.
Yeah.
Like, I think someone was like, I think one of the first comments I saw about it was someone saying, in the 1980s, the men were men. The women were men. The robots were also men. And I was like, there you go.
That was the style at the time.
And then the other half are people getting weirdly mad at us about it, or like, it's starting off with the obviously absurd statement, greetings aggressively gendered men and going off on one about that, like thinking that was like some political statement that we were trying to make it. It's like, no, I just thought it was funny. Like there was no grander statement there.
It literally was just funny to harp on it.
Like it was funny because like I'm not saying that the joke we're making isn't like focusing on the fact that it was kind of a sexist thing.
Yeah.
But we weren't saying like
we weren't saying it was an intentional sexist decision. It was
it was just kind of it was that kind of sexism that's just kind of surreal and funny to read in the modern day. It's like reading Lovecraft where his racism gets so esoteric that it's kind you just sitting there going, what the fuck am I reading? It's weird.
It's like the whole like, you know, someone gets so sexist or racist that it just it's like I said, it's like, oh yeah, Polish people can fly, didn't you know? And it's like, what?
Like people in the comments were inventing fictions where before like 1980 fucking one. Oh yeah, men was just used entirely as a gender-neutral term. Like,
this wasn't the people who were playing along. This were the people who were very normal and not innocent and very
yeah. It was like people pretending that things like inclusive language, like people didn't fucking use it, but the singular pronoun "they" has existed for like centuries.
Oh, for fucking so long.
It's in the fucking Bible. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, so it was just every now and again I just look at the comments and like depending on you could tell how good a mood I was in because I'd either be laughing at them or go, yeah, I just need to not look at these. Oh, I'm just gonna fucking leave the room. I'm gonna go play with my trains.
Trains don't have a gender. Trains don't use pronouns. I love how like a lot of those types of like very normal cis people are like, God, it's just slapping gender, forcing gender on everything. Your boat is a girl, Stephen. you ride around on Deborah on the weekends, Stephen. What the fuck? You have gendered a boat.
You can tell how little...
I'm not getting in a lad, not getting in a boy boat. That's gay.
You can tell how little we've got to talk about this podcast because it's just all petty gripes.
I'm gripey.
Gripe cast.
I have so many gripes. Y'all want to hear about my gripes?
We're actually... I think this might be the first time we are legitimately the MisanthroPod.
And that moment was truly when we became the MisanthroPod.
We've just spent half an hour just fucking moaning.
And you know, another thing. Okay, motherfucker. English hot dogs are sausages. Fuck you. I hate English sausages. And no, they're not.
I mean, you're just wrong there, but like...
No. Okay, I'm not actually gonna get into this with you because you actually made me mad now.
I like
There's a sausage sandwich and there's a hot dog. The two things are very different.
What happens if you put a sausage in a hot dog bun? Like a regular sausage in a hot dog bun.
That is an affront to God and science.
That's tasty is what I
Fuck you.
It's a sausage in a bun.
Mate.
It's nice.
Nah. No, the way you eat sausages with bread is you put it into a white bit of bread and then fold it diagonally.
Oh no, that's just weird Australian perversion.
No, they taste best like that. It just works. It just tastes good.
I mean, that's just like a
Watch yourself.
That's just a bogan hot dog. Like...
Mate, no, it's not. Okay, no, a hot dog, if you want to be a fucking hot dog, it needs to be so processed you barely have to refrigerate it. That's a hot dog. A sausage is like...
I'm just going to say...
I mean, they're also great.
The thing is, I'm not saying that those aren't hot dogs, and I am not saying I don't like those.
Do you remember those 2 for £1 hot dogs that I used to get from the pound shop that they didn't even refrigerate?
Yeah, you didn't have to. You didn't have the bread. It was like long life bread, and you did not have to refrigerate these hot dogs or anything.
It's like they would feed that to like POWs, and I'm like, this is fucking great, man. I love these fucking hot dogs. Are awesome.
Like, what's the ingredients of this hot dog? 80% starch? What?
There's 80% like sparch. It would be a made-up word. It's like the interior of a fucking mattress. I'm like, sparch. Very tasty.
It's like legally we have
full of vitamin 47.
We don't have to refrigerate these because legally they're a type of roof insulation.
Well, the amount of fiberglass in it certainly would.
The hot dogs that you can buy in Aldi in like a tin or a jar or whatever are chicken. It's because they're chicken. They're not pork.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you make chicken sausages?
chicken
hot dogs
sauce.
are
Well,
makes no sense.
you've got to. Well, it's like everyone says that Wendy's burgers in America are weird because they have a square patty, and
Do
it's
they?
on. Yeah, they have square patties,
Okay.
which is really weird. And like, I remember seeing
Yeah,
someone
you don't
being
get
like,
square
"Yeah,
cows. Where do they come
well,
from?
cows are pretty fucking
Depends if you-
rectangular, my man."
It depends if you're watching the movie Space Truckers, because they have square pigs in that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do you get squassages?
Well, it's so that they can fit more of them into, like, the thing. So
that's
it's
fucking
basically
miserable.
stackable pigs.
That's gross. I hate that.
Space Truckers is a dystopian film, so yes.
Good, that's upset me. I'm sad for the square cows or pigs or whatever.
A movie I saw once, some point in the late 90s, and I remember very little about.
Fair.
Apart from the square pigs and
Round holes.
there's like a robot that is like trying to kill the main
There's a
cast.
Philip
and
K.
it,
Dick barnyard pornography like that fucking fan fiction I told you about. I'm not going to mention it because, oh my god! But
Okay, I'm gonna do something brave and bold right now.
okay,
I am going to
kiss me.
re-rail this podcast and go,
Oh shit! Yeah, we're doing stuff.
Matthew.
Yes.
What have you been up to?
I'm going to unrail, not derail, unrail your thing because I have a new gripe.
Okay. Gripe corner.
It's a very specific gripe,
Yep.
Okay.
but it only happened 20 odd minutes ago.
Okay.
Is it something to do with me?
No, it's not. It's Wib. Wib said that the podcast has many corners, and then said it's like a dodecahedron, but a dodecahedron's 3D, so it doesn't have corners. It has vertices, and it's upset me like disproportionately that you said that. So I just need to vent.
But
I don't think I've ever seen someone correct Wib like that.
But-
wow!
But a room is a 3D object, and
Yeah.
so a room has corners.
Yeah,
that's a
but
3D
you're,
object.
You're referring
But
to that
my-
the 2D plan of the room, though, really.
But then there's
you
my...
can say the top. Yeah, everyone is
Then
wrong
there-
all the time. Thanks, Wib. You made it
Also-
worse.
Also, in German, mein
Do not try and out pedant a pedant.
Mein Kopf hat drei Ecken, which is German for my head. It has three corners.
Okay.
So if my head can have corners, how can German or 3D space be real?
Okay.
Okay, have you done with your gripe?
Yeah, no, I can move on.
Okay, that's fine. What else have you been up to apart from getting real mad at Wib for being wrong while you also wrong?
We've done a bit. Plodding along
Oh, that's really helpful.
with Zelda, but I have nothing to
yes.
report because I don't play it often enough to ever get in. I just about get into it and then don't play for a week, and it's the most frustrating experience. But we'll get there.
I've been doing that with Baldur's Gate 3. My ADHD has
Ooh,
been
yeah.
kicking my ass so hard.
Oh, I
It's
want
such
that
an
so
incredible
much.
game and I love it very much, but like I've just gotten to a point and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm like talking in your part, but like
no.
I don't know.
I've got
this
fuck all to
is-
say,
this
so
is-
go ahead.
It'll just evolve into complaining anyway.
Okay, so
yeah.
so this is a thing I have where like, so I don't know if I talked about this, but I was going to watch a movie that I'm very into, and I needed to clean the living room before I could do it, and then I needed to have a shower, and then I needed to do my hair, and then I needed to put my eyebrows on, and I stopped short of doing a full face of makeup because my brain was like, you can't watch this movie until you have a full face of makeup, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Well, I'll talk about that in a bit. But also it's like I really get into something and I love it, like a video game or something like that, and then I become too afraid to play it. I'm like scared. So I'm like
scared
oh,
of
I can't-
finishing it,
I
or?
get anxious about booting it up and enjoying it. I think maybe I put a lot of like, you need to you're enjoying it. Name 5 enjoying moments that you've had, dickhead. I don't fucking know. Name 5 enjoying moments. Excellent. But no, and I just kind of get that where I'm like almost scared to boot it up, and I hate that so much. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. Carry on. Zelda.
Well, I didn't have anything to say apart from that's the only thing I've been playing, and we've not mentioned a video game yet, so thought I would,
Okay.
but I have nothing to
I've
contribute.
been playing
so.
Satisfactory, if that helps.
Nice.
No.
I'm trying to unlock all the trophies on a run, so yeah, I'm having to build a factory that is blotting out the sun, so that's good.
Excellent.
Wow, that's pretty grim.
But yeah, we've been doing bug all. We've started. There's a new series of off, so you know you can get the bleeper out. But it's the same as every other year. I don't know. It's fine.
Bake Off is never fine.
What is very fine? You get to sit and like eat cake, or it was biscuit week this week, so we got to sit and eat too many biscuits while we were watching telly.
Okay, can I ask you something? Do you think Bake Off is when you go to a restaurant? Do you think that's what the Great British Bake Off is? Has somebody who works there told you this? And they're like, are you going to like a bakery? And they're like, oh, welcome to the Great British Bake Off. That is a TV show that you're watching. Today is Biscuit Week. And then they give you expensive like biscuits.
Sell you biscuits. I mean, yeah.
This feels like an old true story about Drummer Matt. I'm sad that our current content, it doesn't really have a space for true stories about Drummer Matt.
Email in. Do you want more completely true stories about Drummer Matt? Because I have a lot of completely true stories about Drummer Matt. So many, in fact.
I mean, you don't even need to make them up. You just need to show that photo of me in my cycling get up and like you did at the last bloody video.
Or that one where you like were rising from the water, flicking your mullet back with the sexiest look on your face. Like you were living your dream mermaid moment. It was incredible.
We do have a small collection of photographs of you that are all like the weirdest photos, and whenever we need to show you on screen, we always use one of those.
Because you voiced in our latest video. And, like, listeners, let me tell you, I could tell when Drummer Matt watched it because he sent me a text going, oh, still got that photo of me, do you? And I was like, yeah.
We've also still got that one that's like, it's fucking ancient now. So when you
were in uni...
Where you're like looking up from your phone and you look like a serial killer.
And he's just got the light of his laptop underlighting him and he's like...
got red eyes.
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
It's terrifying. Yeah.
Also, you've got like the little baby cheek, your chubby baby cheeks. You're a little baby. It's very cute.
This was before you were subjected to us for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
You were still innocent then.
I mean, I'd still known you for quite a while.
Yeah.
What? Are you saying long enough for the taint to have set in?
What? I'm not going to say what I was about to say.
Anyway, the Great British Wank-Off or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's good. Matt Lucas isn't on it anymore, which is just a dramatic improvement.
Yeah, I can see why that would be an improvement.
Yeah. People seem to like him. People seem to upset that he left, but I'm very happy in them, you know.
Look, I think the last several centuries have been proof that the British public don't know what they're fucking talking about most things.
Right.
Yeah. And the only thing we've been doing is there's a new season of Sex Education / the final season.
Ah, yes. I saw the cum advert on the side of a bus earlier. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean it is very funny. It's also very sad in parts, but
I really need to watch it because Gillian Anderson, everyone.
Yeah, excellent.
Absolute queen. Love her.
No, there's loads of very good characters and it's very, very
Where is this made? Is this stroke work?
No, it's British.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's because Gillian Anderson. That kind of threw me.
I think
okay.
It's British made. It's a weird one. It's sort of set. It's one of those ones where it's sort of set, in the UK, but it's kind of Americanized slightly. But it's filmed in.
It is a weird place
in
like kind of
Wales. It's filmed. A lot of it's filmed on the Wye Valley. This season, a lot of they've gone to a new school this season. A lot of that's filmed at Bristol Uni, apparently.
Okay.
But yeah, it's British, so it's I think separate to.
I went to Bristol Uni.
Did you?
No.
Oh.
I just
where's this going?
Why? Okay, I got a bone. Okay, gripe. Another gripe. Okay, listen. I get the feeling that a lot of people don't take me seriously.
Well, it's because of the lies.
I mean, the lies don't help.
Yeah, if you weren't like you are complaining because you told a lie, and then someone like
no, I'm griping about something else.
Kind of
tangentially related.
Kind of called you out on it, so you can't really.
No. I'm talking about something else that is tangentially related, which bugs me. Okay. So what bugs me is I remember we were playing Star Wars 5e, which we will get to later on in this episode. And my character Asa had a genuine moment with a counselor she was talking to, like that because she's a big nerd. She loves books. She loves stories. She loves reading. And she kind of like is talking to this counselor. Yes, counselor. And he's like, oh yeah, I just saw I went to one of the big libraries on Alderaan before it was destroyed. And Ace is, I was like, oh, I sit next to him, and I'm like, oh, I heard it can take like 2 days to walk to fully explore them. I've always wanted to go. And everyone, including the DM, went quiet. And I was like, did I drop a slur? What the fuck did I just do? And then I think it was Longfang was like, I'm waiting. And I was like, for what? And he was like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. What is she planning? And people do this to me in real life, where like I'll be genuine and everyone will kind of stop and go, okay, what? Where is this going? It's literally, that's the phrase, where is this going? Because I'll be like, the amount of time I turned around to you the other day and I can't remember what I fucking said. Oh, I was like, oh, I went to this person's funeral. It was quite upsetting. I talked to the widow and I was like, I'd like to say a word, if you don't mind. And she nodded and said, I'd like that. And then he literally, and he turns in his chair and he's like facing me and he's giving me the look of fucking just say it. So, you know, I will continue the anecdote. And I said, I'd like to say a word. And she said, yeah. And I said, plethora. And she nodded and said, thanks. That means a lot. Okay, so obviously Drummer Matt's microphone is blown out because he's laughing so loudly.
Yes.
But no, and like I'll start like stuff like that, and you'll just stop and you'll turn to me and give me the, dude, are you fucking serious? Just tell me the pun. Well, tell me the fucking joke. Tell me the stupid wordplay. What are you doing? And I'm like, ugh.
You have this habit of like, you'll start something off with like a real sincerity to it, like it's an actual story, and then I have to then discover like as the second sentence in, there'll be something that drops and I go, oh no, this isn't a real story, this is a bit. Okay.
It's how I communicate. But yeah, it's literally people who know me, they get to the point where like they go, oh, come on then. Where's this going?
Yeah, where's this going?
Okay, I'm done with my gripe.
Okay. But you were lying, so, you know, it was obvious.
I wasn't, because
we all know, but we know you didn't go to Bristol Uni. Like,
no, I said I didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm not lying.
But... Matthew, save us from this.
Nothing can save us.
Yeah. Where was it? Oh, yeah, sex education. Yeah, I mean, yeah, watch it.
Every time I hear it to like, I can't remember the song, but it goes, do, you've got a bad reputation. And I hear
it's probably bad reputation.
I can't remember I don't remember who sings it though.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
And every time it's like, you've got some sex education. That's just what I hear. Okay. It's just like the little guitar sting kind of goes off in my brain. And I'm like, guitar.
That is a guitar. Well done. That is a guitar.
I had to check that you were listening.
Okay. You just looked at me expectantly like, oh, do we want affirmation? Okay. Like,
I need to be affirmated.
I will affirm you.
Affirm. Please.
You have identified a guitar, yes.
Just one.
Just one.
I see another guitar and I'm like, what the fuck? I think it's some kind of bird.
Oh, else.
Thunderbird.
Oh, do you want to, because you have the details for it, do you want to give out the information for, because mentioning guitars, we've got the gig that we're playing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think, yes. I think
okay.
I got a message off. We're next. Starting to share the bands each day. You're next tomorrow. When was that yesterday? Okay, I think
next.
It's been. I think the like times of each day has probably been released now, and it will definitely be released by the time.
Yeah, it'll take several days to come out.
Is this podcast coming out before the gig?
Oh, who the fuck knows how long it takes me to remember that I need to edit these?
We are playing.
Thank you for listening to this, whoever is still listening.
That's a few weeks away. We're playing on Saturday, the 21st of October. In Leicester at the Firebug.
Great venue, by the way. Absolutely
Excellent
gorgeous.
venue. It's an all-dayer. They have some sort of, it's called the gig / festival thing is called Half Drunk Club, and they have a half brunch club to encourage people to get down early with lots of brunch deals if you want some breakfast and brunch stuff. We're playing quite early on because, we're barely a real band anymore. So we're on at like...
Yeah, because some fucking idiots decided to keep having children all over the place.
I mean, yeah.
Literally everyone but us.
We're playing at, is it 4:20, I want to say?
Hey!
Um,
And we'll be 69ing on stage.
We will not.
I haven't confirmed it with Zoe yet, but I'm pretty sure we will. Not the worst thing I've done on stage. Yeah. Now everyone's going to think oh god.
Weekend tickets are sold out, but there's still day tickets left.
Okay.
Last I checked.
Yep. So definitely come down, say hi, buy me a drink, because I'm thirsty.
If we remember, we will have our albums with us, so you can buy a physical copy of an album. Because people always ask us about that, and the general answer is, well, they're under our bed, so,
So, let's fuck.
You
have to have sex with us if you want an album.
You can get one, but there's a challenge level involved.
You got to wine and dine us first. That's
you got to get us into the bedroom in order to get a physical album.
That's like a dating sim. That's our trust item. Yeah. You raise us enough hearts, we give you a copy of our album.
Or alternately, just come to this gig and you can buy one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it should be good. There was a lot of good bands.
A lot of very good bands there.
Nice. We're on at 4:20. Also playing the same day. Mr. Wolf were on just before us.
Yeah, Mr. Wolf.
Last edition headlining.
Last edition are incredible.
Whole bunch of bands in between. 1, 2, 3, 4 more bands in between.
Yeah, there's 4 more. They're probably good as well.
Yeah, come on down. It'll be fun.
You can see how unsettlingly hot Drummer Matt is in person.
I mean, to be fair, it's on stage, and we're going to have our new horn sections because there's going to be like fucking 7 of us on stage, so we are going to all be uncomfortable and sweaty.
We are gorgeous, though, as well. But no, I have had people being like, I didn't know Drummer Matt was so attractive. And I'm just like, hi. Snipe, you might know me from being Drummer Matt's friend. Bit weird. But yeah.
Yeah, people just come up to us and say it out of nowhere. It's really weird.
Have you seen, so Bobby from Queer Eye, his Instagram is fucking hilarious. He has this series where he'll be like helping women walking alone feel at ease as I'm going past them. It's a much snappier title, and it'll just be like someone filming him walk past, and it's like, go Barbie, and then like one of them is like, check you out with your mace, good for you, like really playing up like the gay stuff. It's very fun. I can't remember why I brought it up, but that was really funny.
Okay.
I think it was related somehow.
Yeah, probably.
Sex education is good, very positive, and I don't have enough to say about it to be this just disjointed about it. So, Snipe. What have you been up to?
Yes. Okay. What have I been up to? I've been focusing a lot more on my art.
Oh, nice.
I've been doing art streams at twitch.tv/Snipe Sorrow, one word. I do them every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. English time. So I've been doing that, and I've been doing a lot of work with my art. I've been feeling really positive about it because I don't want to get too into it, but I hate my dad like a lot. So much. If you met him, you'd get it. He's
people who have met
him. He goes with the
understand.
territory of people meeting him. Yeah.
Yeah. To know him is to hate him.
Yeah.
And he was an artist. But he kind of.
He was at one point.
He was at one point. And I think because what happened to him is I think that basically every therapist I've spoken to is like, well, not to diagnose without encountering him, but he does sound like he has undiagnosed schizophrenia and is also a bastard. So I'm not saying that people who are schizophrenic or like who are paranoid schizophrenics or anything are inherently bad people. There's one hell of a fucking unfortunate illness which is really downplaying.
He's a bad person.
But he's a bad person who weaponizes his mental illness to harm other people, so fuck him. And I've kind of got this drive now, because my therapist was like, anger isn't always a negative emotion. It can be used to help us survive. It can help us to persevere. It can help us be better people. And she said, the way I use my anger is to try and make life better for myself and those around me. So what I do is I'm furious with my father, and therefore I will never be like him. You know what I mean? It's that kind of like, it's a healthy use of anger. She was like, you've somehow managed to utilize it in quite a healthy way. I still have a lot of it, and I'm still dealing with like a lot of that stuff, which is okay, and I am healing, and it's good. But yeah, like for a while, like my father would like, he used to do like pen kind of like cross-hatching kind of like drawings, and they were quite good. He was very good at like scenery, like he did a bunch of old houses and stuff, like from the outside, like drawings, and then like honestly, they were good. He got to like 30, 35, which is when schizophrenia and that type of illness, from what I've read up on, that's when it typically starts to seriously manifest. And then he just stopped drawing because of, I don't know, rejection sensitivity or the fact that, you know, people weren't like sucking his dick over every little thing he did, because he loved being praised. And periodically throughout the years, like he wouldn't draw for like 2 years, and then he'd sketch something and it wouldn't be perfect, and we didn't like celebrate it enough, and he'd get really mad at us and make the week a living hell. So I'm drawing like multiple pictures a day. I'm drawing this character. I'm drawing that character. Lesbians want to kiss this character, which is honestly the ultimate fucking compliment. You know, and it's like, and I know he stalks my Twitter, and I'm just reveling in the fact that he knows I'm better than he is. and that's like, so now some of y'all might think that's really petty. Oh, it's very petty. And I'm living for it. So, you know, that's not been the main driving force, because he doesn't hold that much power over me. But it's just kind of like, that's like an added bit of dopamine I get when I finish a picture, and I'm like, I'm not really happy with it, but it is better than anything my father could do, the stupid bitch. So it's a little bit of a dopamine booster. So I've been enjoying that, and I've like, you know, been like, because I'm doing a lot more, I'm feeling a lot more confident. I always struggle a lot with digital art, which is why I'm streaming it a lot more, because I finish digital pictures, and then I feel less anxious about using a digital program, because that is where I'm weakest, because it's something that I find difficult, and it's just something that I have trouble with. So, you know, I'm doing that, and I am improving, and it's really nice to see some improvements and stuff like that. It's just, I'm enjoying myself a lot, and I'm drawing a lot of OCs and a lot of fan art, just because it makes me happy, and I don't. If you're drawing something that makes you happy, fucking keep doing it.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm trying to kind of excise a lot of shame from kind of like my psyche, in the way that I'm like, oh, I can't draw this character again. It's weird. It's like, no, it's, who fucking cares? Drawing this character makes me happy, so I'm gonna fucking draw this character. It's like shame is it is a social thing that is required for, like, you know, for human social interactions, but the degree in which I think a lot of us carry it is excessive. And honestly, it just comes out negative. It's like, because we are so shamed for everything, and it's like the whole look at this kid who's like, let's be honest, probably undiagnosed, like, you know, autism or or ADHD or some kind of neurodivergence, who's obsessed about this one topic. Let's make fun of them. How about fucking go away? And if people like trains, people, like I literally, like, because, you know, in Derby City, this bus station, you see occasionally dudes with like really nice cameras taking photos of buses, and I'm like, you know, I don't think I could ever really like find that interesting, but I am so fucking stoked that you do. Because it's so accessible for them, and they can just go. They're like, yeah, let's go to the bus stop and take photos of buses.
Nearly every advancement in human history is because someone somewhere got super obsessed with a hyper-specific topic and just would not let it be.
And that's
so,
like,
you know,
that again, like for 99% of like things, that's fine. And in fact, you know what, just speaking as someone with severely suspected ADHD, more on that later, it's like, you got to get your dopamine where you fucking can, because Jesus Christ, that's a precious resource. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that, and I've been really proud of myself for doing that kind of a thing. But yeah, talking about my my undiagnosed ADHD, I actually finally have an appointment for an in-person assessment for ADHD and autism, and I am so it's like
3.5 years later.
Literally, yeah, like 3.5 years. But I mean,
the NHS is doing great.
We'll get around to that.
Fuck the Tories.
Yeah, fuck the Tories. Fund social programs, you bastards. But like, so I'm super stoked, but I'm also terrified because what if they're having a bad day and go, lol, I don't like you. You have no ADHD in your body. Maybe you should keep notes.
We'll just submit every episode of this podcast and say...
Just the first 10 minutes!
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like, if it's not ADHD, which maybe it isn't, I'm not an expert, there's something going on up there that is very not typical, which is the nicest thing I've said about my brain in a while. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know, the first bit of November, and I'm like, oh god, maybe I'll be able to function soon. And I'm kind of excited about that. Like, because even if it's like not something that can be medicated, maybe they'll know what to do to help me with my symptoms and just not being able to do shit. And it's like, oh, that sounds really cool. But yeah, so everyone wish me luck for that. Also, I had some dental trauma. That was fun.
Yeah,
Right,
remember to be very vague about this.
I am
we need
being
like
very
a beep
vague.
now and a beep later or something.
Okay, I am not
Not for
gonna
anyone
go
else,
into,
just
like,
for me. Just for me.
I'm not going to go like super far into it, but basically, I was exercising the other day, HIIT, high intensity impact training or interval training, sorry, which is quite intense, and I'm painfully unhappy with my body, and I tend to go a little bit too hard because of that, and I don't really cut myself any breaks, so I was pushing myself way past my limit, not realizing just how much tension I was putting on my jaw. I thought I chipped a tooth. I did not just chip a tooth. I phoned around being like, to the emergency dentist, and the guy I spoke to on the non-emergency line was basically like, yeah, maybe you should just die about it because I don't fucking want to be here and I hate you. And I'm like, great, that's wonderful. Thank you so
Not in
much.
those exact words, but...
That's exactly the vibe he put across, and I was just...
No, I know the exact vibe because he had the exact same temperament as I did when I did broadband tech support, and I didn't know what was going on.
Dealing with medical, like
I was
borderline medical emergencies.
Yeah, and I was reading off a list. Yeah. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you need to go to A&E right now." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Because you said that you clenched your jaw." And I was like, "What?" No, I was like, no, because he misheard something and put it in, and he was like, "Oh, I'll send you to A&E." And I'm like, "No," and he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because this isn't happening." He's like, "Oh yeah, I guess that's not happening then." And then he was like, "Okay, call the dentist tomorrow at 8 a.m. and like call this dentist." And I was like, "So you're just telling me to have an appointment with my dentist?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, great, that's so helpful. Bye." And then I called them tomorrow, like the next day, and they were like, we don't have any NHS appointments, but we do have a paid one, and if he just looks at you, it's going to cost you 45 quid. And I'm like, this is a nightmare. Socialized healthcare is a right. I'm going to fucking kick myself to death over that fact because I'm so mad about it. And she was very nice. She was very apologetic. So I just called my dentist and was like, yeah, I've chipped a tooth. And they were like, oh fuck, okay, come in. Got an appointment at midday, and I was like, oh, cool. And I wanted to go to my dentist because they're like the only dentist I've been to in this country that takes me fucking seriously. And like I go in, and he's looking, and he goes, okay, you've actually cracked 2 fillings. And I was like, I'm sorry. So just behind my upper right canine is where a chunk of my tooth came out. He patched that for me. That's all good. I have a filling in that tooth, and I have a filling in the molar underneath it. And he was like, so what's happened is you've bit into your teeth, and basically the filling has cracked on the up and down side. I was like, fuck, how hard did I bite down?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude. Wow, that's so fucked. And he was like, yeah, this is too much for me to do today. I cannot do this for you today. And you're going to have to come back. And I'm like, that's fine. He's like, do you want them done at the same time? I was like, get it out the fucking way. Yeah, man. he was like, okay. So yeah, no, that's the end of the month jobber. I'm glad I'm getting that
I
sorted.
guess I'll make sure if I've got any like voiceover for you to record to get it all done before that.
I have had worse. It's fine. It's fine. So everything's okay. I'm going in for a repair. It's all good. But oh my fuck, that was so not fun. Especially like, you know, I was feeling really miserable and depressed and stuff, and I had like a meltdown after I chipped my tooth. And when I'm really, really stressed, I don't know what it is. Sometimes my nose will I'll just have a severe nosebleed. And I was sobbing on my fucking yoga mat in my kitchen, covered in blood. And I called Wib and I was like, I need a hug. I'm in the kitchen. And he came in and he gave me a hug and he mopped all the blood off me and was amazing. And I don't deserve him. He's so great. Hi. So basically, I've had a bit of a tough time, but I'm glad it's getting fixed now. So that's cool. I'm trying to think what else that I can talk about. Solidarity with the workers. That sounds like I'm being like, oh, I could talk about it, but they won't let me. No, it's fine.
Yeah, we know. Don't worry.
Yeah. Apart from that, and 5e, that's me. Okay. Shall we talk about 5e? Because I think we missed a session. I think we got an extra session of 5e in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, because it's you know, it's been a while since we recorded. I'm trying to think exactly. I think we left off where we just killed the Junker bots.
Fuck, really? That's a lot.
Because that was like the first session. Because I think that's all I think
we've spoken about the next one where we got that Trandoshan.
We absolutely did not.
Okay.
Like that was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, do you want to like?
Okay, so the broad
speed run it.
Yeah, the broad strokes. People don't remember.
I am Asa Rin, but no one on the crew knows that because I've given them a false name of Tani Kars.
Yes, this is in our game of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, but with a Star Wars coat of paint.
Yeah. It is a fan kind of made
which we thought we'd give a shot because everyone in the group already knows how to play D&D
and
so
like
not
Star Wars.
Yeah, so not having to learn an entire new system.
So I'm a Mandalorian.
I am Trask, the Trandoshan fighter.
He's like a variant fighter. He's like a sniper kind of thing.
I've just got like the sharpshooter traits.
And he can't shoot for shit.
We're level 1. He doesn't split that much yet.
Yeah, we have Raz, the Blaster mech, who has an affinity for fire and harming human beings, which is great. Played by our friend Hobbitan.
Yes.
And we have Torconic, the secret Jedi. Jedi, you got to say it weird. Played by our friend Longfang. And we have the marvelous DM Shanus, who is DMing everything.
Yes. So we'd just sort of ended up basically being given a little quest to go and find this counselor who was taken away by some people wearing Black Sun markings, but didn't seem to be actually that like good.
Yeah, like chonky markings that didn't look right.
Yeah. And we got directed basically to a sewer hideout. Basically, just a kind of like rotten little hideout. So
where the naughty evil man was talking to some shady figure on a hollow who vanished, and then we fought them. We fought him. He was a prick.
Well, we did. I don't think we talked about this one.
Okay.
So a couple of things. I had the one time of doing basically this is the one session I've ever had of a role playing game where I was competent throughout the whole thing.
I don't think that happens to many of us. If that helps.
Trask quietly celebrating competence. Because, like, I think the first shot I took was basically through a letterbox and just killed the other guy on the other side.
Yes, that was very funny.
And then when we get to the end of it and have to take out the boss, everyone was whiffing their things, and he had, like, a shield that meant it was hard to, like, shoot him. And because I ended up with, like, decent rolls for my strength and dexterity, it means that basically whatever I want to do, my character is equally as good at, like, melee and and ranged combat they're actually supposed to be built for. So I just waded in with a vibro blade and just started wailing on the guy and just pretty much murdered him.
Sometimes you have to.
This is where it also came out that I decided that rather than doing the sort of obvious thing of having like a tally, because Trandoshans like
their deity is known as the scorekeeper, and she keeps tallies. Basically, it's like the higher your kill count, the better, because it's like it means that you'll be favored more in the afterlife after Transoceans die. So every kill every Trandoshan has a number, unless they are captured, which is dishonorable, and it resets their count to 0, which is a massive.
Although if you take out the person that has captured you or dishonored you in that way, then you get it back.
But like that is such a brutal fucking thing to do to a Trandoshan. It is. Oh, they don't like it.
After we took the guy down and he started talking about like a grander plan, and then took basically a fucking like cyanide pill in his tooth or whatever.
Yeah.
And like.
Oh yeah, that's when Asa got really mad that she didn't get to interrogate him and like football kicked him in the face after he died.
And this is the point at which Trask fussily pulls out a small notebook and adds a tally to a marker and goes, "Look, I'm counting that one." That was also where Raz, our resident sociopathic astromech,
who we love and are afraid of,
found out they had access to a flamethrower, and when like a security like little hovering like probe droid came out and saw that we were there, just got absolutely incinerated by Raz with their little flamethrower. So that was fun.
Yeah, while shouting like "you traitor" or something like that. It was pretty good.
But eventually we get to the end of that. We rescue the counselor, who is researching about Alderaan, and basically kind of gave us the big kind of hook of that we're going to be looking for a vault that was on Alderaan, and when it got blown up, it's like this such a like strong like vault that was made to withstand anything, that theoretically it should still be there in the
full of like the entire planet's wealth,
like a bunch of things that can be used to help like resettle the people who were made, who were scattered to the winds upon Alderaan's destruction. And so that's kind of our general theme, is going forth with that. But in order to do that, we've got a ship, which we have named the Day's Rest, because it's where we go to get our day's rest.
Yeah, I also have Longfang has done some incredible designs on like the ship.
Oh yeah,
and like designing where everything is and the floor plan. Oh, it's incredible.
And so we do the obvious thing. We go shopping, and multiple crimes are committed.
I have a normal one with Torconic.
Because
you go with, you talk about what you did with Raz, and then I'll talk about me and like Conic.
So I went with Raz,
even though you don't speak binary.
No. It was more to make sure, because at this point we have a very firm vibe that Raz is a chaotic entity. Basically,
I'm chaotic, but I can be ruled in. Aista is chaotic, but she can be reined in. Raz is just a force of fucking nature.
Think Chopper from Star Wars Rebels. Mm-hmm. So I go with Raz, and Raz just like goes in, and basically we negotiate for getting a particular like droid upgrade part. And then I am roped in to be a distraction whilst Raz, realising how expensive it was, just steals it and runs away.
Yeah, but they
rolls so good for their thievery rolls that basically they're not going to find out for possibly days that the thing has been stolen. So it was basically a crime that is unlikely to get back to us.
And you were also there with Raz because Raz wanted to get a screen fitted. So whenever he talks, it can pop up because only Conic speaks binary.
Yeah, and that was becoming a problem.
So, he's got a little screen now.
So he,
because I had the highest tech skill, he basically just shoved it at me in like the taxi speeder. I'm like, bonk, and I'm like, oh, okay, don't set me on fire, and I fit it. And the first thing he says is, "I hate you slightly less now." And Ace is like, "I think I liked it better when I didn't understand you."
Because Hobbies got a soundboard of like astromech noises.
It's so fucking cool.
So when Raz needs to say something, they can just press one of the buttons and just make the noise, including the R2 cool. Scream fairly frequently.
That was the R2 scream was like, that's what happened when they left the droid shop, holding the fucking expensive part above their head with their little like apertures, and then just a scream as
armatures. An aperture's a hole.
Well, I mean, well, maybe Raz is a bit kinkier than you thought.
What them ports do.
Oh, we know. They
crimes.
They harm people and start fires and do crimes.
And what crimes did you commit during the shopping trip?
I pulled a gun on a guy.
Was he a bookseller?
No, he was an antiques dealer, so he fucking deserved it already because he's rich.
Because he had a Mandalorian artifact.
Okay, so we don't know that, and Asa, I think she's probably, if she were to be shown any evidence of Konnik being a Jedi or a Force user, I think she'd probably ignore a lot of it willfully, because they knew each other beforehand. Well, they had an encounter where they were both on this. It was like an outpost.
This is pre-game. This is backstory.
Yeah, this is backstory, like pre-game. And we met, like Asa and Konnik met there, and there was like some bandits threatening to raise the city or the outpost, like the area. So we basically Asa and Konnik basically stayed up all night fighting off bandits, and then did the like predator son of a bitch thing in the morning, and we're like, okay, bye. And that's when she gave the name Tanikas and has kind of been stuck because she's like too embarrassed to tell people that that's not her real name. So yeah, I think she'd probably just willfully ignore any evidence because, well, like Longfang and I've talked about it. It's like she's probably just gonna pull a gun on him if she finds out. Which, I mean, she's eventually gonna find out. But yeah. Anyway, I literally she's like, oh yeah, I'll follow Konnik because we can hang out. He's cool. He goes into an antique shop and he's basically like, do you have any artifacts from a local? Because there's like a local Jedi temple that's like old and dust now, and he's like, well, I do have this like holocron. It's busted and it's and he's like haggling for it, and he's like, oh, I won't go lower than 200, and I'm like, maybe you should give it to him for 50, and I biff all my rolls. So this guy's like, no. Anyway, I biffed them real bad. And then he's like, Mando, I have something you might like. And I'm like, I hope, she's like hoping it's a romance novel. Because one I picked up, because Shanus, the amazing DM he is, has like a chart to roll on now, because he's generated like 20 like Star Wars flavored romance novel titles that are like, so a lot of them are plays on actual, like, proper fancy romance novel. And one is, I think the one she got earlier was The Wookiee in Her Bed, which I'm like, that's great. That's fucking awesome. But yeah, so every time she goes out, she goes to buy a romance novel as well. And he leads her over to a cabinet, and there's, I can't remember, I can't remember what animal, what big beast it's depicting, but it's like, it's Beskar. And I immediately know it's Beskar. And I'm like, how the fuck did you get these? And also, these belong to Mandalorians. You're not Mandalorian. You're not allowed this. It's my people's stuff. Fuck you. And he's like, well, I can sell it to you. And she pulls a gun on him and goes, I think you just better give it to me. And Konnik's like, okay, this escalated. And he's trying to calm it down. He's like, Asa.
Konnik and Trask just wanted a nice shopping trip with no crime.
Can you imagine what would have happened if I went with Raz? Can you fucking imagine?
I almost think we should just let that happen next session. I want to see what happens.
It's like you come back and half the fucking city's burned to the ground and we just point at each other.
I'm like, well, my money was on the whole city burning down, so frankly, I'm impressed.
Yeah, you've got like a bet going with Konnik, yeah. So I get talked down, and like for some reason this guy doesn't immediately like call the fucking cops on me, which is very like. But yeah, she has like kind of quite a. I wouldn't call it a tantrum because that feels like it's making it seem like it doesn't matter, but like, you know, she's very passionate about this, and she's having trouble kind of with
Asa
words.
lacks impulse control.
She lacks a good bit of impulse control, especially when it comes to stuff like she thinks should just be
away.
She's like, well, no, this is Mandalorian steel. This is Beskar. This belongs to my people. You shouldn't have it. Give it to me. And he's like, no, you have to buy it. And she's like, nope, wrong answer. And then they're like arguing, like the argument like between Konnik and Asa spills out into the street where Raz and Trask are approaching, and they're just like, we should stay back because they are fucking getting into it. And like we're like properly arguing, and he's like, Asa is so mad because what Konnik says is just exactly true, and he's like, okay, what would that achieve? And she's like, yeah, we can't let rich people think that they can just buy something and that means that it's theirs, and like, you know, there's no ancestral like ownership over this fucking thing. And he's like, okay, so you shoot him, what will that achieve? And she's like, I don't know, shut up. And then she's like, you know, sulking. So that was a fun argument.
What we actually had to do that day was a couple of things, because my character is was a mercenary in sort of his previous life. I just got like a phone call basically from the local mercenary thing going like, hey, like there's a bunch of farmers who are getting murdered.
That's bad.
Could you check that out?
We catch the taxi down.
Yeah, we basically catch a taxi. We go. We check out the farm where these are Biff.
There's a bunch of Biff. None of us can speak Biff, by the way.
It was a protocol droid. It's fine.
It was a protocol droid.
Biff are what the jizz whalers are.
Yeah, the jizz whalers.
In Return of the Jedi.
That's another thing I have to say very, very quickly.
No, they're in fucking A New Hope, the original jizz whalers.
I don't remember. Anyway, I've been doing a social experiment today, and I'm going to continue doing it, where instead of saying cheers to say thank you, I say jizz. And I've been saying it. I'm saying it to bus drivers because it's like, so, you know, when you get off, you go jizz, mate. And that's what I'm doing.
And you're seeing how long it takes before someone has a moment of going, hang on.
Yeah. I'm waiting. It's like, cheers.
Yep.
Because it makes me happy. Because
that's amusing for you.
It's amusing for me.
And the other people don't notice.
I was like, so. I've literally just announced my intent to gaslight bus drivers in the area.
Yep.
Sorry.
But yeah, so we go to the farm and we kind of get a basic layout of like, at dusk, like people are just disappearing. We don't know what's causing it.
Like all the farm hands and stuff, are just like, some of them are going missing. There's no like animal tracks or anything like that. Yeah.
So this is in the morning, so we're like, you know what? We'll basically cover the area, like, and we'll come back in the evening. Because what we also had to do that day was go and speak to
one of the counselors, like contacts that knows a bunch about the vault. And, you know, we wanted to see if he knew anything else. Yeah,
so we got that info. So we got that information. We came back at night, and then we found out what the problem was there was another Trandoshan who was hunting people.
He was hunting these Biff farm hands because they have like, what is it? They have like a certain kind of sense or something. I can't remember what it is. Which means that they're harder to sneak up on, basically. And this Trandoshan was being a cock and just picking off these poor bastards
as training,
basically using them as target practice.
But like the combat opens quite amusingly because I think I spot him first because I was on the roof of the farmhouse because my character's a sniper character.
I think it's like, I love it how I roll because like
and I shot him out the fucking tree.
Yeah, I'm a Mandalorian operator, which is basically like a rogue.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we take up different positions, and I'm like, I hide. And Shadis was like, suddenly you look around and you can't see Asa anywhere, and I'm like, I hope they can't hear me because I'm giggling. I felt so fucking Arnie in Predator 1. Fuck! I mentioned a movie. Oh, come on, it was gonna happen.
It's fine. But yeah, and then there's like. So, it was a remarkably difficult fight because it was one of those things because Trandoshans heal. And so
They
he was
regenerate so
healing,
many hit
he
points
was
per
regenerating
round.
health each round, and obviously we don't know this.
I had the coolest fucking thing where I snuck up on him. I like rise up and I pull out my pistols and I fucking just unleash a cavalcade of shot. I crit him. I'm doing so good. And I'm like, internally, I'm like, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in D&D. I feel like a badass. And it was like, yeah, he's still fine. And I'm like, what? Really?
That should have killed him.
That was so cool, though.
Meanwhile, he was beating the piss out of Connick.
Yeah, Connick was getting absolutely fucking wailed on.
Eventually, Connick takes him down, like, lands the final blow, and because he's using, like, a vibro blade, like, slices off limbs.
Yeah, he, like, cuts off his, like, right arm.
And then
it's Star Wars.
And because the whole thing of my character, Trask, is that he's a little, like, he's an older Trandoshan, and, like, Trandoshans can regrow limbs. But
he's got robot legs.
yeah, Trask got his legs cut off by like some weird experimental weapon, and he's already a bit old anyway, so it stops working kind of as well, and so he has not been able to regrow his legs. And so yeah, he's like looking down at this guy who's just had his legs cut off. He's like, yeah, it hurts like a bitch, don't it?
Yeah. Then we've got Raz at the guy's head, and I'm like kneeling on his chest with a gun in his like face, and I'm like, hi.
You're like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he reveals that yeah, he's just hunting people for sport, and then it's just like
he's just being a dick.
And like we're trying, and it's just like, yeah, no, we've just encountered a serial killer. Like, oh, okay, and yeah, Trask is just like, oh, okay, he's just a mad killer. All right, fucking kill him. Who cares?
So I do.
So that problem was dealt with, and then on the way back we get another call.
We literally because we caught like a speeder cab up, or we got I think we rented one. I can't remember what happened. We have a speeder to take us back to the city, to where we're docked, and I'm helping Connick get in the back, and I'm like, okay, Trask, you drive. Don't let Raz drive, please. And I'm helping like hold Connick's guts in, and I get a call in my helmet from a different counselor that we've been dealing with, and she's like, "Hi, hope it's not a bad time." I'm like, "Actually, this is a monumentally fucking
very bad time."
And she's like, "I can call back," and I'm like, "Nah, you might as well call me, haven't you?" And she's like, okay." Anyway, there's some weird things going down on this terrace in the city, so we'll meet there tomorrow and discuss it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, love you. Bye.
Basically, it turns out that because we go there the next morning, and it turns
have some good RP. Oh my god, I have to tell everyone what Raz did.
We'll get there in a second.
Okay.
And basically, it turns out that people are being grabbed. And in like this like nice park area, like around a fountain, and like there's like one of this council's like aides has like got like these like tentacle
it's like a
marks,
weird like wrap around kind of wound, like lash around her arm.
And we joke like, oh, is there like a Dianoga in the fountain? A Dianoga is the thing in the trash compactor in A New Hope.
Yeah, it's like a big squiddy thingy. It's very horrible and scary. Yeah, it was a fucking Dianoga.
Yeah, it turns out it was a Dianoga, and how we found that out we'll get to in a second. But
Raz, the fucking chaos demon,
because we just had a moment where we had some like time to just kind of settle.
So like Connick sat and had some tea, and I was like, I'll have a cup of caf, which is what they call coffee in Star Wars. And put it on Connick's tab. And the waiter was like, really? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And then, you get the most fanciful, over-the-top dessert ice cream sundae thing, like milkshake.
That was just me recreating a thing from real life, where you will get a boring coffee and then I'll get like the most outrageous
The
amount
milkshake. Of
milkshake.
times when people bring us our coffees, they'll hand me the milkshake and with the coffee, and we'll be like, no, and swap them around.
But Raz decides to go off and finds this, like, I want to say, like, it was supposed to be, like, 11 years old.
He was, like, a preteen, so he was, like, 11, 12 years old. This, like, he's obviously the son of someone who works there or is passing through, and he's like, on his phone, playing Roblox, bitching about things on TikTok, whatever kids do. And he's just being a little shit, and Raz goes up and is like, hey.
Raz basically goes up to him, I think nudges into him,
Yeah.
And
And
like
the kid like fucking backhand like scuffs where the back of Raz's head would be.
whilst and then pickpockets the kid, and then
Like comes back to us at the cafe.
comes back, buys a coffee
with the money.
with the money. Well, buys us all.
He pays for all of our drinks. Buys himself like a scalding
with the money
hot-
he stole.
With the money he stole from the child. I think it was like 90, it was a lot. It was like 150 credits. That kid was loaded and deserved to be robbed.
Because I have to hold Raz's money because he doesn't have pockets.
Yeah, you're the money
And so,
holder.
like, Raz comes up and, like, hands me, like, a credit note. And
you're
I'm
like,
just like,
we
oh, I
literally-
do not want to know
all
where
of
this
us
comes
are
from,
like,
do I?
we weren't there, we were not privy to the crime.
Yes.
If there was a crime, we don't know.
We just assume whenever Raz is not in our eye line, he is doing a crime.
He's doing crime. And then gets himself like an extra large, like, scalding hot black calf. And he gets that put on his head, and he just fucking tears us back into the fucking air, and we're like, we didn't see that. we didn't see it. He goes up to this kid and parks up next to him. And then, like, runs full speed into him, spilling his calf all over him. And the kid's like, oh my god. And then, like, Raz is like, you spilled my coffee. You need to reimburse me for that. How fucking dare you? And he's just, like, bullying this child.
It's just, okay.
And it's like, okay. And then, like, the kid, like, runs off crying, and then, like, Raz comes back and we're all like, we do not see it.
We heard a child scream.
We heard a child
do not
scream.
want to know what just
do not
happened.
see it. It's fine.
And
And then we wait till night, and then we get in position around the fountain in the middle of the area. And first off, there's a couple.
I make everyone sandwiches.
You do. You make everyone sandwiches.
I've been slowly ascertaining that Trask is.
He's the mum. He
likes to cook for people.
Yeah, he likes to cook.
This has come up a
Which
few
is really
times.
good because Asa loves being cooked for.
Yeah, that works out well, doesn't it?
Fucking dry eye roll.
So we kind of hang out in this park, and we're all kind of like.
I hide in a bush.
You're hiding in a bush. I'm once again on the nearest roof.
I imagine anytime like
Raz is pretending to be a
Trask
bin.
yeah.
And Connick's kind of just skulking around in the background.
Yeah.
And
He's fully like film the wiring it in the background.
waiting to see what was going on. Because we didn't do the sensible thing of like, check to see if there's anything dodgy with the water. Which if we had have done, we would have noticed, wow, this tastes like garbage. There must be something
It
in
tastes
the
like
water.
Dianoga water.
Like a fucking Dianoga. And we hang out, and then a couple of mysterious robed figures enter the scene, and we're like, ooh.
And like they're out of earshot, so I sneak up because we're all radio connected. So I'm like, I see a couple, and I'm gonna sneak up on them because I'm very good at that.
I'm gonna see what these two robed figures are up to.
Yeah, so I sneak up and I'm like listening in, and I'm like diagonal, so Connick can see me crouching behind the bush listening in, but he can't see the couple. And it turns out they're just there to make out. And like they're like, oh, we can't let the counselor, like this counselor, know. Ooh, let's do a big kissing. And Asa, being the disaster she is, starts like she's like, oh my god, they're so romantic. Oh my god, oh my god, like fully anime blushing and carrying on. And then like the guy leaves, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna do the thing where I run my fingers through the water and look wistfully up at the sky. And then a fucking Dianoga grabs her and yanks her in. And we're like, oh no.
And then Asa leaps into action. Because we
do-
roll initiative.
I get like fucking 22 initiative, and I'm like, fucking, I am so on the game. I am getting paid for sexual acts. It's like I am so on my game. I jump, I turn around, I jump into the water. I start like, I have like Wolverine claws as my like, Laura Kinney claws, so there's 2 instead of 3. And I like pop those.
Just like arm blades.
Yeah, and I
basically.
start punching the water. I get a nat 1 on my first attack with my main hand. And I don't know this at the time, but I've just punched a hole in the fucking woman I'm trying to save. I like take a chunk out of her fucking arm, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know this at this time. I just like, oh, you see blood, and I'm like, well, at least I hit something, not even thinking it could be her.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna have a hole in my boot or something. It's fine.
Thus proceeds to be
A comedy of errors.
a combat which I believe contained at least 3 natural ones.
Yeah, Raz got like hit, like, because they went in the water, they got like belted and like paralyzed because Dianogas have like paralyzing like venom. I got paralyzed. I got yanked.
You didn't get paralyzed. You got like.
I got like properly wrapped up in a tentacle and submerged. So I'm not only submerged, I'm furious as well.
The only thing that got nearly cool is because I was like, it turned out my vantage point was absolutely the worst place to be standing because I could not get a bead on anything.
Yeah.
So I had to like use my like extra like my once per like short rest like extra action thing to fucking leg it all the way over from one side of the like area to the other.
This is when it was like waving the poor woman around.
Like pop off a shot and go like, can I use my disarming thing? Because the rule states that it means that they'll drop whatever's in their hand, whatever they're holding of my choice.
And it was holding the poor woman in the air.
So can I make it drop the woman?
Oh yeah, because you went for her instead of me. Because I was fully underwater at that point, being thrashed around by it.
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, to be fair, at that point we realised, oh shit,
you're wearing a helmet. You're fine.
That's what I kept saying, and Shayna's was like, "You aren't." And I'm like, "Oh no."
You probably have more health points than random woman, so.
I absolutely do. Yes.
So I nearly got to be cool, but like I think Shayna's like for like the role that he had to do, a response.
It was 1 point over.
Yeah.
So it only just didn't work.
I think that was the closest thing to anyone doing anything cool that entire combat. It was
a mess.
Like I was always shooting from range, so I'm the only person to come out of it without getting at least a little bit beaten up. But
I kept missing every attack because like I always like the way she punches, like her main hand is her left hand with like her unarmed like dagger. So I miss every hit with my initial attack, but because I had the dual wield kind of thing, I apply my bonuses to my offhand attack as well. So I was just like punch, miss, right hook, perfect.
Yeah.
Doing damage. We were also really rolling really low collectively as a group for damage.
Yeah, again, there was loads of
ones and twos. We were really, like, honestly, it was brutal. And then we finally killed it, and, like, the girl, like, runs the fuck off. And then it's like then Shayna, I think, is like, there's blood. And I'm like, but did it hurt her? Is she okay? And he goes, it wasn't the Dianoga that hurt her. And I literally I covered my fucking face. I was so shocked. I was like, I hurt that poor woman. I just fucking, like, you get yanked down into the water by a dirty garbage squid, and then suddenly a Mandalorian fucking knifes you.
Yeah.
What? That's gotta be the worst day ever.
So, and that's, I once with the Dianoga dead, I am, like, eyeing it, because I've been doing this whole cooking thing. I'm like,
calamari.
I wonder if you can cook one, because it's got all these tentacles, and I'm thinking calamari. It turns out you can, but because Trask likes to cook, but he is not skilled at it,
no.
I created a horror thing that even I was like, I should not eat this. Bearing in mind, Trandoshan, like, all we really know of, like, Trandoshan cooking is that one of the things they do is, like, cook a stew that every other species thinks smells awful.
Yeah.
And you
make good sandwiches, though.
I make good sandwiches.
I mean, like, I think Asa fed half of hers to Pedro.
I mean, that's true.
But that's just the same with every bit of food she has, she will give the majority of it to Pedro.
But yeah,
because he's a stupid jelly boneless weirdo.
And then we go back after that escapade where we're all, everyone's a bit beaten up and soggy, and we get back just in time to have the ship that is docked next to us explode.
Next to us, it explodes. And we're like, what the fuck? Because we're on, like, the elevator to, like, our level at that point. And it was, like, I think it was, like, our dock is 14, but the one next to us was 13. And we find out that someone had been trying to blow up our ship, and they'd gotten the docks mixed up. We run in, and it's just a bunch of dead bodies. And it's like, oh, fuck. Oh, this is bad. And then Trask is, like, he spots a little street urchin and gives them a sandwich. And he's like, yeah, there was, like, people running around in there. There was, like, this. And he holds up a thermal fucking detonator. And Trask is like, can I have that? Like, now?
Well, it wasn't a thermal detonator. It was, like, a device that, like, plants.
That plants them. And it was just like, oh, shit. Yeah, we need that.
And then we have to go, and because for some reason, everyone ignored that Asa can identify that and let Raz identify it, and then Raz wouldn't give it back. We had to negotiate with Raz. We will buy you explosives that are not an accessory to a crime.
To literal murder.
Yeah, we'll buy you a clean explosives. We need that one we can.
It was like goading like a gerbil out from under an oven.
Yes.
Like, how about I give you this sunflower seed? And I was like, no, looks a bit shit. Okay, how about 2? So yeah, we Conic went and handed it to the police, and we were like, okay, that was a lot. Let's regrow our limbs because Christ, we took a beating.
Well, you all did. I was fine.
Yeah.
Again, there's an advantage to being a pure ranged character when fighting a single enemy.
I can imagine. But yeah, that's where we are in our campaign. Sorry, it was such a long wait, but yeah.
Yeah, that was condensing 3 sessions.
Yeah, so it's pretty good, pretty awesome, amazing.
And also, we weren't going off notes, so oh boy, we missed some stuff. But that's what we've been doing. So that means that all we have to do on this incredibly rambly episode of MisanthroPod is the questions. Do you have any questions in the email?
Yes.
Drumbly bumbly.
Just the one, but
I think people have just kind of adjusted to the fact that wewe've been doing it via Twitter. So.
I think so, but I'll keep checking occasionally.
Although that will inevitably probably end up moving to Blue Sky because
fuck Elon Musk. He's horrible.
All right, shall I do my email question first?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a question from Alex. We've got a question for
Alex.
each of you. So, a question for Webb. What a coinkydink that you decided to revisit model railways in literally the same week as me. As a fellow migrant from... Go on.
He's telepathically communicating with you, Alex. I'm sorry.
Nice. As a fellow migrant from 40k, I've decided to go for an OTT, even grimmer, even darker version of 1950s Birmingham for my N-gauge layout.
Jesus, that's too dark. That's too grim.
Is there a particular period or vibe you'd like to model with your trains? And can you see one hobby potentially bleeding into the other?
Well, I mean, to answer the second part, I think there's always naturally going to be, because... I literally painted a loco, and I was using my Citadel paints. It's painted Sons of Horus green, I think there's some level of that. A lot of people have asked me if I'm going to make are you going to do a Warhammer train? And the answer is no. I am not going to do that. I don't. These are two different hobbies to me. They have a lot of crossover, a lot of things that are cool about them that combine, but I have no interest in making a grimdark train. I like my trains, I like my Warhammer, but they are two separate things to me.
I would like to very quickly ask you a question. Do you know the Spanish word for train?
I do not.
Tren.
Thank you.
Tren.
Thank you very much.
Tren.
To answer the first part, I don't have a particular sort of thing. If I was to make a dream layout, I have been watching a guy who's been doing an incredibly well done late 80s layout.
Late teas.
And although I prefer in model form, I think the steam trains are more interesting. As making a layout, making a late 80s layout, and so the trains you have are Intercity 125s, HST stuff, and little DMUs and stuff and things like that does appeal in quite a strange way, and it's nearly modernity but not quite, and that does seem quite appealing.
Yeah.
Although my little layout I'm making, I can just take the easy way out and say, it's a heritage railway, so it can be set in the modern day, but it's fine if you use things that are incongruous with each other because it's just whatever the heritage railway can get hold of. It's a long-winded answer of saying I don't really have a particular thing. I like a little bit of everything. So
I'd probably go for in era. I'd be I'm gonna go for Blade Runner.
So
Blade Runner's
future.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. There is a Hornby steampunk range that looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, because it's designed by crusty old dudes.
It's actually designed by a guy who is a well-known fixture within steampunk and has made some really good custom layouts of his own.
And he chose to just be bad at it.
No, Hornby just did it the cheapest, shittest possible way.
Yeah, no, never mind then. Yeah.
They're
Apologies to steampunk person.
They're just Because they're basically just resin casts of kit bashers, badly dry brushed in one colour.
Ugh.
They look awful.
Terrible.
Terrible.
That sounds
Not
pretty
even
bad.
well dry brushed either. Really poorly done.
That's very cool.
So yeah, I don't have a particular thing, but I could see me gravitating to like maybe like either the 80s or maybe like the 1920s ish. I could see me doing around that kind of era.
Okay.
Sorry?
A question for Snipe.
Me! Hi!
Spelt SNOIP. Snipe.
Snipe.
Having now become a train widow, as well as a cancer mangling Euro badass, Humphrey Stan.
I'm not European, but thank you. I guess a bit of me is.
You live here.
The cancer that had been removed. No, I'm joking. Sorry, continue, Drama Matt. I apologize.
Are you finding yourself drawn towards any nostalgic hobbies?
Any nostalgic hobbies? Well, I mean, I started crocheting. I guess. Like, my nana used to knit and crochet and all that kind of stuff. Like,
yes, that's
sewing.
nostalgic.
And, like, yeah, like, when I was a kid, like, we didn't really have any money, so I used to, like, fix all my clothes like that. And my nana would make a lot of her own clothes very well, actually. And she'd let me use her fabric and her sewing kit and stuff. So I did a thing once where I made my brother a teddy bear because we didn't have any money and I couldn't get him a present. So it was a fucking awful shit teddy. I think he still got it. It's fucking awful. But like, I was like 8, so you know, I don't know. It's something I'm trying to do. So I guess it's not it's not typically what we talk about here. But yeah, apart from that, no, not really. I'm very boring.
Yeah. Okie dokie. That's my questions.
Okay. Well, then I shall go through these questions on Twitter. I am answering them in the order that Twitter is displaying me to them, and we will see what we get. And we'll answer as many as until we just need to stop because there's quite a few.
Right.
Okay, this is from our friend Lynn. What's the best and worst current available Games Workshop texture paint?
I don't think I've used enough of it to be able to give an answer.
I've not used all of them, no.
No.
I really like and really hate all of the things like
Back to the gripe corner.
Well, it's asking me the best and worst.
Yeah,
like,
I
think
know she is.
any of the like crackling texture paints, like what's it called, Martian Iron Earth, Iron Earth or Iron Crust. I forget which one is which. Because because the effect they get is really, really cool, but it's also very, very brittle and it's really easy to chip it off. Which it's always kind of a bit annoying.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple with that kind of texture paint on it. Yeah, because I always base my things in black, and there will be flakes that just pop off, and it's like, great, love that for me.
Yeah, so I love them and hate them. I tend to be honest, a lot of the time these days, I just tend to use like thingy. Oh fuck! It's all the names of all these paints just fallen on my head. It's the brown texture paint. Still and Mud. Is what I tend to use for most things, honestly. And even if I am painting something a different color, quite often I'll just put that on before it gets primed, and then just paint it afterwards, and then just dry brush it to whatever color I want. So yeah. Also, here's one, and I will ask you, Matthew, because you might know how this tech works better than I do, because I don't fucking know any of this works. Do you think that if you scream at an aux cord loud enough, the amp will make noise?
Yes. I'm Drummer Matt. Hi. Welcome to. I think
because it's getting a signal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not getting any kind of electrical signal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It needs it needs a signal to send a sound.
You can scream at your guitar pickups.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Actually.
You can
I
also
think it was the same as screaming at your guitar pickups. Sorry.
You can also if you have an electrical motor and you activate it near pickups, it makes a weird fucking sound. I
Hence
know
Tom Morello and his dildo strumming.
you're thinking of the guy from Tool who did that.
Oh, I just lump good guitarists into
That's why I tried it, because I was like, I read about that and about him using a fucking vibrator.
I can imagine it would sound real.
Yeah, it sounds really peculiar. You hear it like ramp up, and if you've got like effects on it, you can get all sorts of weird shit. However, if you yell at a speaker and a microphone are fundamentally the same piece of technology, just specialized differently. So all speakers are shit microphones, and all microphones are shit speakers.
Yeah.
They're just that's.
Don't try and use your microphone as a speaker; it will explode.
Yeah,
not necessarily.
It most of the
But
time
you shouldn't
will
do
explode.
it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't advise it. It's not going to get good sound, and it is. I think it would be prone to getting damaged, but it's not going to instantly blow up. Probably. Okay, now from
my favourite weird. This is unrelated, but it's reminding me of the fact that you can, if you've got a record player, you can use the new British. I mean, it's not that new, but the plastic notes we've got now.
Yes,
polymer.
You can hold those onto the record that's going round, and the note vibrates, and you can hear the music. It's fucking cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that is interesting.
Bizarre.
But yeah.
Okay, yes, from Modhail. If you were somehow granted 10k
Great
British pounds each month for the next 30 years, what would you do?
Cry. Well, obviously we'd still do YouTube, but like I'd put everything I don't like spend into a bank account that our friends have access to, so they can, if they need any money, or if they want to like go out like and see a movie with their kids, and they can just pop money out of that. I'd buy Hot Toys Miguel O'Hara. Oh my god, the only fucking figure on the market where you can see his beautiful face. It's so cool. It has individually moving eyeballs, so much articulation, fabric suit, club, another club. That's what I'm after, which I will never ever get. And I'd get that specialized 1/1. They've only made 300 of it. Terminator 2 bust of Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T-800. And I just put it in my kitchen. Apart from like just paying for my friends to do stuff, and I'd move house, so we had an extra like bedroom or two to like
have an actual office.
Actually have an office. That'd be so nice.
To have some separation of work and life.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah. I'd also get my teeth fixed. I'd go and get like, because I can't afford private dentistry. Not many people can. So like I have a couple of shonky fillings. So I just go and get a tooth implant, get it removed, get an implant. That sounds fucking incredible. They're like $2,000 each. So I just save up for a few months and sort my teeth out. Because, oh my god.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, because I don't really want for that much. Honestly,
I want everyone. I want people I love to be whole and happy and safe and fed.
Yeah, once you sorted yourself out, like being able to help your friends out.
That's not me being like Miss America or nothing. It's just like, well, that's what would make me happy. So there is a little bit of selfishness there. It's like, I want my friends to not worry about paying their heating bill.
And remember, everybody, this a hypothetical you can make into a reality by going to patreon.com/snipeandwhip.
Please fulfill our dreams of eating.
I thought you were going to say you can make this a reality by stop voting for fascist governments.
Yeah,
that is also an option.
Also affirmative action.
Not that the alternative right this second in the UK is much better.
No, but anyway.
What colour tie do you want the authoritarian to be wearing?
Yeah, basically.
Anyway, okay. So we were speaking of him earlier.
Drum and Matt. Drum and Matt.
Oh yeah.
I mean, broadly the same. I'd set it up as like a charity type thing.
Good idea.
And have it as like some sort of like community fund that if you just need money to like help with anything, You could
that's a real good idea.
take it, like, no questions asked. And you'd
sounds
have,
real cool.
okay, people would point out you might have people taking the piss, and you might have...
Yeah, but the majority of people, it's proven. Like,
Yeah,
like the kind of take a penny, leave a penny things, or
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. The majority of people don't abuse it because it's fucking horrible. Like, it's just, it's immoral, and like the very few people who do, like, it's kind of a thing of like, you know, the people who don't do that will severely dislike and shun those people. So it's like if you've ever seen, like, you know, like, free, please take, like, you know, there's a bunch of stuff. Like, people who don't need it won't take it.
Yeah, there's some people near us who quite often put out like a bunch of stuff outside, and I've never seen anyone take the piss and just like gather it all up or anything. No, people take the couple of things, like the one or two things that they would like, and then leave the rest for everyone else.
Yeah, and that's what happens with this kind
Like
of stuff.
they literally had some Transformers because there's often toys. And I was like, well, I'll take this one. I took the shittest, like, legend scale fucking movie Starscream because he's notoriously shit. And I took that one, and I didn't feel bad about that one because no child should have to deal with having that.
You were doing a service.
But I left the other stuff because I want kids to have them, you know?
But yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next question. Yes.
So from Seamus, our DM.
Illustrious DM.
It's almost like Twitter arranges them via like algorithmic things for like people you know. What is your favourite Fey creature?
Dryad.
Okay.
What's yours?
I don't think I've ever really thought about it.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know.
Just say fairy.
I honestly don't know.
Okay. Drama, what about you?
I mean, same, yeah, I've never actually really thought about it so much.
I guess it depends
I
where the
feel
line...
weird because I have.
Yeah, I guess it depends really where the line, like, I guess, like, to me, it kind of, like, where like, a Fey creature, just, like, a folklore creature.
Well, they're kind of, like, foresty kind of, like, creatures.
Can I have the Wolver?
Yeah, the wolf is really cool.
You will be able to hear all about the Wolver at some point in the future.
Yes.
In podcast form.
In a podcast when I get my... Because, like, oh my god, my poor co-host has COVID. Well, her and her wife have COVID right now, so... I'm not...
Really?
I'm not...
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're both quite ill. And, like Violet, like, suffered a lot. Like, she was having, like, 39.5 fucking temps and stuff. Like, she was really suffering. So it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be like, well, sorry, darling, but we have to podcast. So, yeah, but we're working on that. What about you, Drumbles?
What was the question? Are we still on Fey creatures?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. How do you say satyr? Satyr. Satyrs. They seem quite fun.
Yeah.
Go to some mad parties for a bit.
Yeah. I bet they're a mad lay. I have heard they're rather horny. Get it? Because they have horns.
I'm trying to think of stuff off the top of my head, but that's what's coming to my mind at the moment.
That's
fair. Okay, from Inquisitor Grox.
Hello.
Does Snipe have a favourite train?
The Pokemon with you is a Japanese, like, train that is completely and utterly Pokemon, Pikachu themed internally.
Excellent.
Would you like
what
to
type of train is it? Like a... Oh, wow.
You gotta be careful how you phrase that, because you don't want your train to be like the insides of a Pikachu.
No, like the everything is white, is yellow and brown. It's a fucking nightmare to look at.
What kind of train is it?
I don't know, but I know it's from the East Japanese railway company.
Like, is it a fucking bullet train? Is it like a fucking Shinkansen?
Let's have a look, because I think it might be a Shinkansen. Oh, that's really helpful.
Oh, that's page not found.
Page not found. Let me.
It's
I'll tell you what. You guys talk about like the next one.
And does Wib ever flick through the train book he got from time to time? Yes, I got sent a train book a long time ago. Not as much as I should is the answer. Not as much as I should. Next, we have a question from Ed Fortune of have you got many games of Shatter Point played? No.
No. We don't really. That's a big time sink, and we're both neuro. Well, I don't think you're more neurotypical.
I'm just depressed.
You're just depressed, and I'm just fucking. I'm a nightmare.
Have literally not got many games of anything recently played of any variety.
No.
Actually, I think it's been a good month and a half since I've played a tabletop game. Actually,
It's
no, I
been
tell
a
a
month and a
lie.
half since I've been near a tabletop. Fucking get away from me, you surfacey prick.
I did. I did play some games of a test. I did do some test games of the skirmish game I have been trying to write. So I have played that. That's the only one I have. Similarly, Salamander 550 asking us, have you all played any TCGs? That's something card game. I always forget what the T stands for.
Trading?
Tabletop card game?
Tabletop.
Is it not the trading?
Trading card game, that's the one.
No.
Yeah. I completely forgot what the T stood for there. And if so, which ones? And did you enjoy them?
I played Pokemon.
I played Pokemon back in the day, but I have not played it
I never
for decades.
battled with it, and anytime we did, it was no energy cards. I use Charizard, and it kills you. And you have to leave my house because Mum says that you said the F word or whatever. You know, the usual.
Yeah, that's my only experience, and I have gone on my own extensive rant about no energy card playing at my school a previous podcast. I was like at the dentist and I opened my pack because I always have mints on me. I am paranoid. I always have mints, no matter what. And in my mint pocket, I had a fucking pile of Pokemon cards, and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot I had Pokemon cards. And I couldn't for the life of me remember where I got it from. Then I remember we went and visited my brother, his girlfriend, and the Niblets. And they just had a stack of Pokemon cards, and my sister-in-law was like, do you just want them? And I was like, yeah. She was like, just take them. Just fucking get out. Because the kids do not care.
The kids do not care.
Cards.
I'm like, I don't care about Pokemon. And she's like, just fucking take them. I don't care. So, yeah.
Matt, I know you've played...
You played Magic.
I played quite a bit of Magic at school.
Did you enjoy it though? That's important because playing them is apparently playing them is one thing, but did you enjoy them?
Yeah. Should I not have done?
It's just what the question specifies.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yes. I very much enjoyed them. I'd love to be playing now, but I'm so far out of the loop. And
every time I see someone. Every time I learn a new thing about how Magic works, I go, I don't want to get into that.
It's the most EA card game ever.
I like Magic the Gathering because it exists to keep me humble, because I occasionally see people talking about it, and it is so impenetrable as an outsider that I am reminded what it's like for anyone to talk to me about any of the subjects that I am enamored by. And so it reminds me that sometimes I should be a little more clear. And
you know, I'd like it if occasionally someone asked me about piercings. I know a lot about piercings. I'm very passionate. I wanted to be a piercer for a while, but literally all of the cringy emo kids would be like, I heated up a needle and I shoved it through my foreskin. Can I be a piercer? And they would just, because, you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know, and there's no regulations in the UK apart from what you're not allowed to pierce and how you're not allowed to do certain parts unless you have, like, you know, a certain, like, you know, degree in medical doctorism. And,
medical doctorism.
Yes. And, like, you know, you can't ear split, you can't tongue split, you can't ear point, you can't hole punch, a lot of things like that. Apart from that stuff, completely, like, any can pick up a fucking, like, they can just pick up a piercing gun and do irreparable damage to, like, children as young as fucking 3 months old. Which, no, that's fucking disgusting. How dare you? I'll fucking find you and fight you. Don't ever do that. Don't ever get pierced with a gun either, because they're really fucking bad. But yeah, I would like it, because, like, I think it's when I was younger, having all these piercings, people would be like, oh my god. Like, because the last person that asked me about my piercings was in Lavisa, who offer gun piercings. And I was buying like a titanium thing for my septum ring or something. And she was like, oh, I love your piercings. And I was like, oh, that's really, thank you. I really appreciate that. And she was like, how do you get them to, like, keep? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, I keep getting my upper ears pierced and they never stay. And I'm like, well, cartilage is an incredibly difficult, like, place to, you know, that's a difficult like bodily material to heal, and like a lot of cartilage piercings, like, they can take up to like 18 months to heal properly. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like, how are you getting them done, gun or needle? And she was like, oh, gun. And I'm like, okay, one, how do you not have collapsed cartilage by now? I didn't say that to her because that would be rude. But I was like, no, you want them done with a needle because it's gentler and doesn't cause trauma to the area. Because that, around the helix piercings, like with piercing cartilage, can go very wrong very easily. Sometimes your body just doesn't want to maintain a piercing. And she was like, oh, I've just done a training course on piercing and I'm a qualified piercer now. And I'm like, and you didn't know what I just fucking said. Fucking hell. I've heard people saying from Claire's, because please don't get pierced at Claire's, Jesus fucking Christ. Don't get pierced anywhere apart from a professional parlour that you checked out the work of. That literally was like, this person was like, I worked at Claire's, they were like, here's your piercing certification, you need to pierce this teddy bear, and then they were like, okay, go pierce children.
Yeah.
Which is, these people, they are people who don't know what they're doing. Anyone who pierces you using a gun, fucking don't get pierced by them. But yeah, I wanted to rant about that because literally no one talks to me about piercings anymore, and that's all I want to fucking talk about because I really love piercings.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't.
That's a gripe.
Yeah, that's more for the gripe corner.
The only time my piercings are ever, the only like time my piercings are brought up in YouTube comments or anything like is to say that I suffer from mental health and like issues, and it's like I do, but not I've just literally. From as long as I can remember, I've always wanted my ears to be full of piercings because I think it's beautiful. That's just something that has always been there in the back of my head. Well, and also, abuse does not equate how I present myself to the world. How fucking dare you?
I just don't think it comes up that often because you don't get to talk about it very often because it's just not something that comes up in our kind of line of content.
No one I know has as many piercings as me.
But I don't even see them as being that many because I'm just
I
so
get
used
up
to
and
them.
down by old people all the time.
That's
And
just how
occasionally
you
old
look.
men comment and are like, oh, don't walk past a magnet. And I'll fucking headbutt you,
They're
Michael.
not magnetic.
They're not magnetic. Because if one of your piercings is magnetic, that's fucked. And it should not be. And it will fester in your ears, dickhead. But the thing is, you don't want to sit there and explain to these people why they're wrong. But anyway, yes, I'm sorry. Please carry on.
Okay, we'll just do a couple more questions. Because we've been going for quite a while.
We're like halfway through. We can get through. Go quick fire. It's fine.
Okay, you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Okay then. For Wib, what model train scale do you prefer?
Who is this from?
From Sky Rose. Sorry.
Hello, Sky Rose.
Sky Rose. What model train scale do I for? Well, the stuff I've got is 00 scale, so that's kind of just what I kind of already have.
Yeah, appropriate for Spooktober.
Yeah. It's
I had to fucking verify my my Twitter account. Only time it's okay to dead name something is when it's with Twitter. Because I changed my Frankie Snipe Star Wars. I changed Snipe to Spoopy Bitch, and it was like, I'm gonna lock your account unless you can prove it's you. And I'm like, I swore it's absolutely
every
me.
day Twitter gives you another reason to not use it anymore.
Yeah, really.
But I was today at the racist shop. I was looking at what I believe were N scale models, and I could see myself really enjoying
those the really
N
tiny
scale.
scale?
Yeah, those were the tiny ones.
Those were so cute.
They're so adorable. I was really surprised how detailed they were. Really
They're
cool.
so cute and little, yeah.
Okay, and because we're doing quickfire, for Snipe, is there any place that I can look into info about your Mando OC?
Okay, if you want me to cry with happiness, Sky, you've just achieved it. You beautiful, beautiful creature. No, there's no real place I've put up like a bunch of information. I was kind of like wanting to go back to use my Tumblr, so I'll probably put some of that on there. If not, it'll be @SnipeDoesArt on my my art Twitter. Or my Snipe the Sorrow Blue Sky account, which I'm posting my art to now. I don't have an alternate art account.
You can make one.
I can make one, but it's like it doesn't really have the infrastructure there to figure that out yet. But thank you so much. Like that's actually touched me.
Well, there's another question for you from the Archivist Pen.
Hello.
Is Australia really as dry and desolate as American TV lends me to believe?
The middle part's pretty fucked, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, that's desolate shit.
That's just desert. That's like the surface of fucking Mars. It's fucking garbage. But the rest of it, no. Not really. I think it's like how they, like, any fucking American TV show is like, this is Mexico, and it's just a piss filter.
Oh, yeah, the brown filter. That's how you know you're in South America.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. Phil M asked, how excited are we for the Shatter Point minis that are invariably going to come from the Ahsoka series? The Kintsugi on the Stormtroopers is so cool.
I love the Kintsugi on the Stormtroopers. It's really cool. Honestly, probably not going to buy them because they are so expensive. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the big thing that kind of stopped me from getting more into Shatter Point, because I do like the game, and I think the minis are really good, but like they're too like 4 little packs. They're too expensive.
Yeah.
Like I think the big box with all of the training, the thing that we reviewed, I think like it's really expensive, but I think I can totally see someone being able to justify that price. Like. But the individual boxes, yeah, they're just, I like having spent more time sort of with them and everything, I really feel like, yeah, they're just too expensive. They're just too expensive.
Yeah.
But I do look forward to see them.
Yeah.
Hashi is asking us, have we ever seen a prairie dog? Yahoo.
No, but I saw a gerbil drink cordial once.
Cool.
What?
Unpack it. Prairie dog is a little rodent thingy. Yahoo is a brand of chalky milk.
Yep.
Like, no, but I saw a gerbil drink cordial once.
Yes.
Very funny. Even funnier now that I've explained it.
Jokes are always funnier the more you explain.
Yeah.
A little bit Batty asks, what is the best kind of cake and why is it red velvet?
Why is it Miguel O'Hara? They did not need to cake him up that hard. I'm sorry. Anyway.
I don't know what my favourite kind of cake is, really.
I mean, red velvet's
Chocolate.
a good choice.
Red velvet is a decent choice.
My favourite is cheesecake. I love
Also
cheesecake.
a good choice.
Drummer Matt, your favourite cake is carrot cake. Honey, your favourite cake is chocolate cake.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like chocolate cake's kind of a bit too generic because there's a lot of different
But
kinds
it's still
of
a
chocolate
cake.
cake. I mean, yes.
Drummer Matt, how was my aim?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not far off.
Wow, okay, then
Carrot
what
cake
is your
is
favourite, dickhead?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, red velvet cake. Red velvet cake has the same icing as carrot cake, but has the advantage of also being a bit chocolatey.
And red.
Oh, Guinness cake. One of the shops near
fuck?
us. There's Guinness cake, which is delicious.
That sounds disgusting. That sounds like I ate a Bovril Bakewell tart and it was incredible. That's what you just said to me. Also, if you eat Bakewell tarts, I distrust you deeply as a person.
So, fuck the entire village of Bakewell, I
Yeah,
guess.
fuck that. Fuck you and your gentrified fucking dog biscuits.
What's wrong with Bakewell
They,
tarts?
they more sell Bakewell puddings in actual Bakewell more than tarts, to be honest.
Yeah.
Traditionally.
Bakewell tarts are all almond. It's almond flavoured bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, that's fair.
I suppose.
Also, they look like disappointing clown tits.
Okay, now that's a valid complaint.
Thank
That's
you.
a valid
Thank
complaint.
you.
Okay.
Okay,
Anyway,
two more.
Similarly,
Alright, yeah, 2 more, that sounds
Tempest has asked us, do we have a preferred soup?
I like them big. I
You
like
like-
them chunky.
You do not like soup, but you will eat chunky soup because it is the closest soup to regular food.
Red to filth. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you say regular food as if soup isn't just a regular
It's
food.
not. It's meat flavored
Look,
fucking water.
I said regular food to avoid this argument.
Listen, okay, no. We are talking about this.
No, we're not.
Yes,
we're
we
not
are.
having soup
Fucking-
discourse.
Yeah, soup can fucking suck my dick and balls and cock because it's fucking so. It's like, would you like some meat, water? No.
Yes.
No. No. I want meat.
Oxtail soup's nice.
It's gravy.
Yeah, and it's gravy you just
You
eat.
don't drink gravy.
You
You
eat it with a spoon.
objectively can. And when you eat oxtail soup, you just are.
No.
It's great.
No. Soup is a condiment that people have turned into a meal, and it's fucking deranged. Now, when you have chunky, because I like them thick, I like them chunky.
How many and how big do the chunks need to be before it starts to count as a food by your
I like stew.
So okay, right. So
Okay, yeah.
why
fucking,
does stew count as food but soup doesn't?
because stew is full of. It's got meat.
Yeah.
It's got carrots. It's got potatoes. It's got.
So can soup.
Not really.
It can have all.
Well, it
these
can
things.
have those, but it doesn't. It never does. Because it's a fucking disappointment. It's a fucking... You know what it is? It's a fucking, it's a Yorkshire fucking health smoothie that they fucking... It's awful. Fucking awful. And it's from Yorkshire because it's very deeply English.
There's nothing
Stew is-
English about soup. It's a thing that is
Awful.
all around the world.
Wank. Wank. Wank water. Absolutely fucking... It's pish and I hate it. Disgusting.
But it's the
Stew?
same. It's stew. It's the
No.
same as stew.
No,
it's the same
not.
basic
no,
concept.
It's not. Okay, basic concept. Yeah, you're right. You know, like the same. If like, behold a man. Kind of shit over here that you're pulling on me right now. I fucking cannot believe you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna shave a dog. It's a horse. It's the same
believe
concept.
this food
Fuck you.
essentialism that you're pulling right now.
Okay, wow. You want to fucking pull that shit on me? You want to call me that? Well, maybe you can, because I don't know what that means.
You're a turf, but for food.
I'm a furf.
You're like soup critical beliefs.
What is...
A surf. A soup.
No,
exclusionary.
What's worse?
A soup exclusionary radical foodie,
enjoyer.
I guess.
I don't ever say that out loud.
Food eater.
Food eater. I do eat food.
Yeah.
You got me there.
Surfs.
Fucking hell.
Anyway,
I like oxtail soup. I like
Because
tomato
it's gravy.
soup. I like vegetable soup.
You like ketchup.
I like all the basic Heinz
You like
tin stuff. I have a
mayonnaise.
basic.
the Heinz tin tomato, classic.
It's really nice. The cream of tomato soup's just really nice. It's nothing fancy, but it's
ketchup.
just really nice.
It's ketchup.
It's nice.
You are drinking
Dunk some bread in that.
ketchup.
Ooh.
Ketchup pre-cum is what you're drinking.
When
That's
you're in the
what
right
you're
mood
fucking
for it,
drinking.
that's lovely.
Fucking pay attention to me!
No, because you are saying ridiculous, untrue things.
No, I'm not.
Even
We do
more
not
so than usual.
platform.
Anyway,
do not
next
platform your
next
beliefs
question,
here.
because I'm done with this one. Next question.
Adult human meal plan.
I mean, the last question is just the word yellow question mark.
I hate the color yellow. Used to be my favorite color. Don't want to talk about it. The rotten one. I think it's because.
Oh, the rotten one that asked that. Yes.
Yeah, the rotten one asking a rotten question. Yellow. I've noticed both you and Drummer Mass Icon predominantly feature yellow.
That's because I'm still using that nurgling from the Rogue Trader.
It's because Drummer Matt has a piss fetish.
That is also true.
He loves piss, and he loves to piss.
And
I
be
mean,
pissed.
I do enjoy having a wee. I guess.
Having a wee. Did I ever tell you the time about I was at a sleepover, and because like this guy that the girls I was in class with I didn't meet the guy that used to go to their school. They got me to phone him up, pretend I was like a sex worker, and talking dirty, and they were feeding me lines.
Okay.
And like they were all whispering, like, say you bet he's got a nice bum. Oh, say you bet he's got like, you know, like a nice willy. And I was like, okay, and it's like saying it in a sexy voice. And then one of them whispered, "Oh, I need a wee," and I went, "Oh, I need a wee." And then I panicked and hung up because they were all laughing. And they were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm
Now
like,
I'm just imagining someone like on the phone to a sex worker, like they're doing their business, and then the person on the other end just goes, "Oh, sorry, I gotta go. I really need to piss," and then just hangs up, and you're like,
Well, the thing is, I panicked, and they were like, "You need to phone him back." And I was like, "Okay," so I phoned him back, and he was like, "Hello," and I was like, "I've been for that wee." He seemed really into it, though. That was the weird part.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess everyone discovered things about themselves that day.
I learned I'm partially deaf.
Yep. And that apparently astonishingly convincing as a phone sex worker.
Yeah, 14-year-old me was wild.
So, to the
That's
question,
the questions. Thank
the
you very
question
much.
yellow. I have painted a lot of yellow, so tentatively,
You painted a lot
yes.
of yellow. Drama Matt has done a lot of piss in his time.
A lot of yellow rope has come out of him.
Like,
I am
it's coming at me
currently-
like a cable.
I am currently sat on a yellow cushion on a yellow rug.
It's
my
'cause he's
microphone is
pissed
on
on-
a yellow blanket. So I can't argue with that.
Did you when you bought it? Was it yellow? This is important.
No, he's pissed the sheets in someone's keys.
Like, do we need to be worried from like an electrical standpoint? Is everything sodden?
Is the door blocked?
Everything is grounded. It's fine.
You've thought about it, I see.
I noticed that you have not answered the question I asked, and I have already reached a point at which I do not feel that I want to hear the answer.
He likes some piss.
So
He likes them pee-pee.
thank you for listening to this
Whatever the
episode
fuck happened
of the
here
MisanthroPod that was 80% complaining about a racist shop we went to.
The shop itself, the
And
bricks and mortar were racist.
10%.
The guy was so racist. He did that Japanese kind of thing where he was such a racist dickhole.
Somehow the carpet was in blackface.
The carpet was in blackface. No! No, it's like his like negative like emotions like seeped into the very bricks and mortar of the place. So now that every single brick in that fucking shop is a racist.
Every time you open the door, he's like carefully calibrated, like the hinge on it, so it squeaks and sounds like a racial slur.
Yeah. That's just how racist the guy is.
Yep. And the rest of it was other assorted gripes. So thank you for listening to this, I guess, therapy session. Should our listeners be charging us money for this?
No, they should be paying us because that would be cool.
I mean, they do in a lot of ways. Thank you, by the way.
Yes, thank you for paying attention.
But I don't think anyone particularly pays for the podcast, and frankly, after what we've just done, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
Does anyone else have an assorted gripe they want to get out, since that's just the theme of this podcast? Does anyone feel like complaining about something?
Well, see, now that you've asked... No.
No? Are you all out of gripes?
No. I just can't think of any right now.
Okay. Have you got any gripes, Matthew?
I'm going to have millions as soon as we hang up, but as of now...
I'm griping about the fact that I don't have anything to gripe about right now.
That is a fair gripe. Please, in the comments, share with us your hyper-specific gripes right now.
Yeah, and also if you're replying to anything we say, please timestamp it, because fucking hell.
Because we do not remember what is in these podcasts, and also we forget to edit them for significant periods of time, often. So usually when you're hearing them, we have recorded them a week or two earlier and do not remember a damn thing about them. Mm-hmm. Just a good practice when commenting on a podcast in general, honestly.
Yeah.
They're long and people forget what they're
Also,
doing.
please don't forget to drink water and have a meal today.
Preferably have multiple meals.
Yeah. I saw a really cool hoodie today the lady in front of me was wearing. It's like, hello, and it said on the back, hello, person behind me. I just want to let you know that the world is better with you in it. Signed, the person in front of you. And that made me very happy. I've never seen that kind of sentiment expressed on like such a meta shirt. And it was so wholesome. Yeah. And it was nice. So, yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for listening. We love you.
Yes, goodbye, everybody. Mwah.
Mwah. Kiss them, Drummer Matt.
Mwah. Bye-bye.
It was a very half-hearted kiss, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I would rate that
Once
as
more with
probably
feeling, come on.
Definitely one of the kisses of all time.
Mwah.
Okay, a little better. We'll work on it for next time.
You two are going to be kissing.
Yeah, that was just my way of saying.
It's just you going, hey, Drummer Matt, want to make out?
Prepare for some sloppy makeouts. Anyway, we're going now. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.